back, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
it
eat you back.
does. It
It
does.
does.
Goodness. But, so what if Pineapple bites back? So does being live, which is definitely a segue to us being live.
being alive and being live.
Oh, we are alive. Oh.
Oh, well, hello. Hi there. You've just stumbled in.
Making sure.
Let's do a role play. You've stumbled into a D&D game. Roll a character.
My first check is a pulse check, and because I am struggling right
Roll
now.
for medicine.
Has anyone ever played a game where you play as yourself,
I'm already
but
dead.
as D&D characters?
No, but that would be awful.
I did that once.
I
It turns
Wanna
out
be
it's
me
kind of
less,
kind
not
of
more.
rude because the one at least I did was your friends have to tell you what your stats are, and I was like, that's mean. I'm only this.
I have played a game. It was a one shot where we isekai'd ourselves into another world where it's like, oh, we're playing ourselves, but we reincarnate or however it may be. And oh my goodness, the DM wanted to make us start at level 20 and then die and then wake up in like new bodies. It's like, that's too much for people who haven't played before, because there's some people who haven't played, and I was like, let's just play as if we're ourselves. And it worked, because I would not be able to swing a sword well, and we were all level 1 trying to do so much.
Doing your best.
Doing our damnedest.
Doing your darn best.
Participation trophies. All around.
An effort was made.
I mean, sometimes.
There we are.
Hopefully there is an effort being made. That's always the hope. Oh, goodness. But what a lovely Wednesday to come back and start our journeys today. I'm very excited for our tower trials or whatever we're facing, because I am concerned about it, and I am ready.
We're all gonna die. I hope we have backup characters.
We're all gonna
We're all gonna die. Everyone knows I love to kill my characters. It happens like every other game.
Oh yeah, there's a very, very beautiful track record of all these characters. The list is practically blank.
Yeah.
I killed them all, one after another, until the end of time.
I went through so many character changes last time.
We did make lots of character sheets for our last game.
We did.
It's true.
But that's fine. That's another game, another day. Shall we dive into the fun?
Oh, I didn't bring my goggles, but I'm ready.
Oh, that's not good.
I won't open my eyes underwater. Don't worry. I'll just go with the flow.
Because it's a swamp, so if you open your eyes underwater, it's
septic.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I wouldn't put that up there. All right, let's start with our intro. So, welcome everyone to Iskar Academy. We are an elite school specializing in the training of the future heroes of our realm. Our 3-year program prepares you for leadership and networking opportunities across the 2 continents. Our professors have extensive training in their areas of focus and often real-life experience in combat. Located in scenic Caracat in the heart of the Eastern continent, we know you have many options for your mandatory training, and we're confident you'll be happy for choosing us. Yours in Vesher, Headmaster Isolda, also maybe Cardamon's here. I'm Melissa, I'm the Game Master, and as always, I'm joined by...
Hey, Laura, and I am playing Lark, Reeve, the healer of the party.
The healer of the party. And
The
I
healer of
am
the party.
And I am Luna, who's playing Moss, our rogue bard multi-class, who's here and hates the headmistress. And just, yeah, she's an asshole.
And I'm Ian, and I had to fight off the urge from yelling my character's name very loud, but I am playing Charr Scree, the little orange guy that carries a sword that's practically his height.
Strong boy.
Oh. Are you muted?
Oh, you hear me now? Do you
Yeah.
hear me now? I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Tamzie, the Chaos Baby Goblin. Not an actual baby though, like a teen, like an almost adult, same age as everyone else. Not actual baby.
It's not weird. It's not weird.
Chaos. There's no babies here,
Sorry.
I swear.
Don't make it creepy.
Oh my
I'm-
goodness.
I'm so glad that Charr is not the shortest one anymore.
It
For
must
now.
be a weird thing to be like, I have always been the shortest person in the room, and then you meet someone shorter, you'd be like,
Well, he's the tallest person in his brood, right?
That's true.
that's true. That's a good point. So now you feel back at home.
It's a very small piece of comfort, and I'm, you know what, Char's happy for it. I'm happy for it.
All
No.
right. Does anyone want to give a recap of last week and what you guys? I mean, you basically just talked to your various professors, but various things you learned.
Tacos are delicious.
Oh, sorry.
What's delicious?
Tacos.
Oh,
Tacos
yeah.
are
I mean,
delicious.
come on. The headmaster's
tacos.
good at many things, and one of them is paying for good food.
You know, something to reel somebody in. So last game, Charr sparred with his paladin professor Melker and got more information than he was expecting out of him. We pretty much found out that not a lot of people like what the headmaster is doing, but a lot of the professors are, if not all of them, are fully aware of what's going on with the towers. Melker told Charr that there is a woman passing through the magic barrier. The one that I believe it was the one that was shattered. That's like the line between the changing biome. Is that correct? That it was like.
She can pass through any of them.
Oh, okay. So someone could pass through them directly, and there has been somebody. I was told to be wary of wizards, which I mean, I feel like that's profiling, and that's what I'm kind of against. But you know what? I guess. And we shouldn't say the headmaster's name in public together because that's kind of like ringing a doorbell.
You mean, I want to hear have a really loud horn sound coming from somewhere, like band practice just let out.
I just
We need to
Tammy's
come
just
up with
walking
a s-
around finding the most annoying times to say her name, so she just
Yeah.
keeps hearing random bullshit all day.
That's all you
3,
hear. You
4
never
a.m.
actually hear her name.
It's so great. I honestly think we need to come up with a really stupid code name for her. Like
The shit eagle.
That's pretty on the nose. That's you know
that's pretty on the nose.
What
I've
is
been watching a
yours?
lot of Trailer Park Boys lately. Or shithawk, sorry, a shithawk. There we go. Pardon me.
What a time to pull Trailer Park Boys.
When's
into
not
this.
a good time?
It's true. It's true. Goodness, no, we really should. But that is what Charr has pulled from his professor he talked to.
Mhm.
Was there anything else that we really needed to?
Yeah. Anybody else's professor gave them any kind of interesting information, or
Let's see. The ranger professor is the one who works the closest with Isolde, but even then it's limited information, so we know to be careful of her. And
you know
we
that
were
she's the most entwined with what's happening.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
the most entwined. We also know that cardamom is just kind of something's something's happening there. Where the fuck is cardamom? So we know that. And then we also know that Lark's cleric teacher will know more just because she's the cleric and everyone comes to her for certain things. So that's another person. And yeah, I think that was it. If my memory serves.
Yep, Ryland has a really cool magic spell that makes it's like Liamon's
Oh,
tiny
yes.
bouncy castle.
I love it. I'm really hoping to
this is
learn
the
it
best.
soon. Because I just kind of want to trap someone in it. I just love the image of trapping a big bad and the equivalent of a bouncy castle that plays children's music.
No ice cream though. No
Yeah,
treats.
no
That's
ice
what
cream.
makes it
Just the
torture.
most annoying children's music.
It's just Baby Shark over and over
Yes.
and over and over.
Yes.
Doesn't
and the pitch
stain.
just gets
Liamon's
higher
tiny
and
like
higher.
fun but driving you insane hut.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a business practice we're going to start seeing soon, where people need to have a reason that they're feeling insane. So I feel like this is actually profitable.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so we have a couple things on the list. We want to make sure that we check in with Father Despian, who showed up a couple games ago to give Lark some perhaps troubling information. But we're in the middle of a spell and had to make sure we use the water breathing spell we could. So he's been staying in town for the time being. And then you guys were going to try to head up to the swamplands, which used to be a forest, to see if you could figure out what the heck is going on. You've seen the tower that was underwater in the lake, and that one seemed to suggest that this one is no longer active, or in some way is, not serving the same purpose. So yeah, where do we want to start? Do we want to go see Father Despian first? Do we want to have Enris meet you guys at the stables? What are people thinking?
Ooh, are we all gonna go up to the city with the horses first? Are we gonna join Lark on that?
Yeah,
You could
but
definitely
Lark
do
wanted
that.
to go alone because she told me that she was going, right?
And safety in numbers.
But also,
You guys just gonna really creepy sit at like a table and just stare across the room?
I mean,
Well, right now Moss is the only one who knows.
we could
Just
also
remembered I
decide.
have to look at my horse check, or my horse table.
Horse table.
I
Very important
forgot.
horse table.
I have to get my horse table ready for this. Okay, so Lark, you're going all by yourself? All right, let's do that to start then, shall we? So yeah, you head to town, and you head to the inn, which is called the Rat's Tail. It's run by somebody who has a rat tail and really loves it. It's actually not
like
bad.
a hair rat tail, or like
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was someone with a tail, but it could have been a real tail. It could, like, a butt
I feel like
tail.
this is how we open as you're talking to the bartender. He's like, no, it's just a haircut. It's like calling it the Bob. It doesn't mean my name's Bob.
Well, but how are people going to be able to, just by hearing the name, be able to tell that it's the cut and not an actual
There's a
tail
picture
that
on
you
the
have
sign.
in your trousers? It's a very, very misleading picture.
What else would it be a picture of?
An actual rat tail.
That's disgusting. Why would you even say that?
Okay, first of all, I to each their own. Some
I'm gonna
people
name
have
my
tails, some
inn
people
after
don't.
rats' tails?
Some people have tails.
Maybe I should rename it. Need a new name.
Maybe something jolly, like the bobbing apple or the sunshine and rainbows.
The sunshine and rainbows.
Look, they were just ideas, trying to bounce ideas. Okay. If you don't want help, you can just say that.
I don't want help.
Fine.
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 He flips his rat tail as he walks away. Oh my god.
Does it have like a little bead on the end?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait, how
It makes nice love.
That's gross.
how long
even
is
worse.
it? Is this like something he's been growing for a bit? Because I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it must be like a foot and a half long. That's
Yeah, he's balding, and it's like a around the head rat tail.
You know what? That's
It's
kind of
bald.
punk. That's kind of punk.
Mm.
It's kind of punk. I'll give him credit
If-
for it. I don't agree.
Um,
It's kind of punk.
Delightful.
that was very delightful.
Yeah, okay. So, you head downstairs. Are you just gonna wait for him, or are you going to go try to find him and go to his room or whatever?
I'll like knock and just like say at the door, like, I'll meet you downstairs. Are we there the next morning yet?
Yeah,
I'm kind
yeah.
of
We'll say this is the
confused.
next day.
Yeah.
You guys maybe need a little bit
Yeah.
of time now that you've gone swimming and everything like that. I went swimming today, and I
Yeah.
can tell you it's very exhausting.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just tell them that I'm gonna get a table and some breakfast and stuff, and then I'll go.
Okay, what are you ordering?
Whatever is the best, freshest,
You want
newest.
whatever the guy who has a place called the Rat Tail about his hair says is the best thing to get.
I want to know what came in like this morning, like what's been delivered this morning. Like I don't want stuff made. Oh my God, look at me! 3 months at Iskar, and I'm like, I'm not eating.
Right? You were like, how you feel in your bed? Now look at you.
Wow. Right? 3 months can change a person a lot. Apparently. I'm a food snob now.
Today, their specialty is they have some fresh meat that a hunter brought in, and it's just kind of like there's it's like a root vegetable hash with like chunks of meat in it.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't sound likely to give you food poisoning. Yeah. Okay. That.
I mean, they're not very clear on what kind of meat it is.
As long as it's fresh.
It is fresh. It's absolutely fresh.
Yep, that's fine.
It depends how much you trust rangers.
Mild to medium, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's a Wolverine brisket.
Yep. Coffee. Yeah. Bread. Thank you. Ready? Yeah. Bread.
Yeah. We'll definitely have they do individual little rolls here. It's kind of like when you go to like a restaurant and they give you like a appetizer solo bread.
Nice.
So they give you one of those first. The person brings it to the table and they just like take the knife and stab it into the table, the knife being through the bread. So the bread's just kind of standing, like floating there. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive first thing in the morning. Okay.
It's 7 a.m. Chill the fuck out.
It's 7 a.m. Why are you so angry?
He's so angry already. So Father Despian comes downstairs not too long after. He looks a little disheveled, but he looks better than he did. It looks like he's had a shower at least and had a meal, but he still looks a little frantic. Why are you like this, rat tail man? No one knows his name. He's just Rat Tail Man from now on.
God, his name needs to be Johnny Rat Tail.
Johnny Rat Tail.
Now I gotta write him down as a
Tail.
character who exists in canon because he's gonna come up again, and I'm gonna be like, I'm
Johnny
40
Rat
talking
Tail.
about.
God.
Should we name him
Johnny.
like what is the mentor of the Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Johnny
Who's
Rat
a
Tail.
rat?
Oh, Splinter?
There you go. He has
No,
4 turtles that he's been training.
This is Splinter Rat Tail, as everyone calls him.
Yeah.
Local lore.
Your food shows up being delivered by a turtle.
Yo, turtles are like my favorite monstrous race outside of
There you
Tabaxi.
go. So there you go. So it's run by Rat Tail Man, and he has 4 turtle sons who he
I'm
adopted.
so glad I did this.
Oh, we took this and ran with it.
Yeah.
Ran with it.
I love my additions to lore, guys.
Done. He may be a little strange, but he's full of love. He's full of love.
And rat tails.
And rat tails.
Hey, like how long is it? Like
I'm gonna say kind of between your shoulder blades, but it's kind of thick at the top, and then it goes down till it's like 4 hairs.
Yeah.
Like it's thinning. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I had to know that was important. You should also
enough that he
probably
can
write
like
that
drastically go like whew and whip it at your
down.
face.
Really give it a good flick. Okay.
Yeah, it does a D2 damage.
Damn.
Like a little mini mace at
Like
the
a
end.
spiky bead. Like. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, he comes down and he takes a seat across from you. And he says, "It's sorry I didn't say so before, but it's so good to see you."
You too. I didn't expect to. Well, I mean, maybe see you ever again, but How have you been?
Oh, it's been a while.
It's a long old walk, isn't it?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Did something happen at home, or?
He like takes a moment to study himself. He says, I'm sorry, Lark. They burned down the church.
Who's
It's all gone.
they?
I would describe them as a sure, now I can't remember the word. What's it called when people get pitchforks? They come
Mob.
Mob mentality. Yeah.
Describe it as a mob. That's what he says. And your parents were there.
What? Why the church? What?
Things have only
That doesn't even make sense.
apparently I was preaching that their ways were sinful and making their business difficult. That's what they said. At least it was empty. No one got hurt.
Well, honestly, good riddance to that town. I have plenty of money for you to stay here. Caracat is much nicer. The people are far less insane.
Sure about that?
Tell guy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. He got me yesterday. He's got like a little.
It has a circumference when he turns. You gotta.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's other places we can look at, other inns. This was just, I don't know, the closest one I knew of. But there's other places, or we can look to rent you a room. I make
It's this.
Money every week, so I have plenty.
It's all right. I came here to give you this. And he pulls out a sealed parchment envelope. It's actually pretty thick. It's probably at least like 6. What, Sarah? It's probably like
They both need post-it notes. These are 2 post-it note games now.
You can't say thick, and I'm not gonna laugh because
Sarah,
in my
thank you for making me not alone in the post-it note club.
Thank you. Yes, I hear thick, and I think 2 C's. And I go, yeah.
it's a letter from her father.
Stand by what I said.
It might also be thick. We don't know.
Tamzie's like, note to self. Meet Lark's dad.
Don't you dare. You stay away from my father.
Make a
I
character
don't
a
know him.
goblin who fucks. God.
Tamzie's always DTF.
Always. Yeah, he hands you a letter. It's thick enough to hold probably like 12 pieces of parchment. Like, it's a pretty sizable letter. It's sealed with a very complicated looking crest that you kind of can't really make sense of entirely. Like, you feel like you need to like sit down and examine to see, like, you know, when a symbol has like so many things interwoven into it. It's something like that. You're like not quite sure what the eye is meant to be drawn to. And on the front is your name.
Okay, I'll open it.
Okay.
Normal.
It is a very long letter that starts off with to my only daughter.
That's where I'm gonna shut it again. How did you get this?
It was left in the church when you were young. Once you started visiting. My understanding was that whoever delivered this letter knew that your parents would not let you read it.
And no one bothered to actually check in on me or ask how I was or if I was happy or being treated well or no,
I'm
just
sorry, Lark, I did all I could. And he's like a little teary. Old man tears.
it's not your fault that this isn't you. This is his fault, not your fault. I'm not angry at you. I guess I assumed that he just left and didn't know, and this is just worse.
He came more than once to the church. This man. But he never stayed long. I don't know what his purpose was or why he didn't come to take you away. At the time, I felt incapable of doing anything but listening to him. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. I didn't even remember this letter until he returned and told me to deliver it.
Like magic couldn't remember, or
I think it must have been.
okay, then I mean it's definitely not your fault. He sounds like a jerk, but that's not overly surprising, is it? Okay.
The thing you need to know is that when he did visit, he manipulated the way your magic was seen. And now I see that your powers are different than a cleric's powers are. You must have seen some sign of it as his magic dissipated from you.
I mean, I heal. That's pretty much all I do. What about that isn't cleric?
You can do more than that. You can fight with offensive magic as well.
Oh, no, I definitely can't. I mean, you didn't see the war games, but I definitely can't. Definitely cannot.
No, Ian's like
fight.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. I didn't see any of it,
very
actually.
True.
Extremely accurate.
Ian went down first.
It's like when you go to a movie and you fall asleep before the movie starts. And you wake up and everyone's gone. And the next movie is about to start.
To be fair, everyone was like, the movie was shit. The movie was shit. The movie was shit.
No. Maybe.
The book was better.
The book was better.
He pulls a little pocketbook out of his, it's like a really worn kind of book. It looks like it's from a library because it's got like stuff along the spine. And he says, I think maybe this will help you understand. And it says, the book is called Divine Sorcerers, Understanding Your Link to the Gods.
I don't even like the gods, no offense, but I don't think that
it's not
this doesn't
much about liking them. You are the child of some being of great power.
Why does that feel so gross? Okay. Okay. I mean that doesn't actually change anything though, right?
No, I suppose you could keep taking your classes as you are. You can do more than just that. And it seemed important to tell you that.
I mean, maybe I could take both. Like a double major?
Yes, I assume you could. I never went to a school like this. I'm sorry, it's just feels like I've just been released. I feel a little more like myself.
It's good. It's good. It's a good city. It's a good school. Well, I mean, it's a good school.
Something wrong in the city then? Has anyone hurt you?
Nope. No.
Nope.
There's
better. You look like you've
fatter.
Yes. Yeah.
All the food's free. And it's there all the time. And I can take as much as I want and extras and nobody stops me.
That's good.
Yeah. And it's good. And I have friends, quite, plenty of friends actually. I'm seeing somebody, and the headmistress is a bit I don't want to say evil, but maybe
evil. Oh,
maybe, possibly.
I didn't know.
But the teachers are nice.
Good. And they're keeping you safe. That's what's important. Teaching you how to use your powers.
Yep.
You exceeded my knowledge long ago.
It's I mean the schedule is a bit intense, but that's not a problem for me. But it's good. It's good. You should come and I can give you a tour, and you can meet everybody, and I'll show you around. I can show you the classrooms and the lake. Oh, and the dragon in the lake. And
sorry, the what?
There's a dragon. One of my other friends. Yeah.
One of your friends knows of the dragon?
No, one of my friend is the dragon.
I would very much like to meet your friend then.
And I have a kobold friend, and I have a fawn friend, and I have a goblin friend, and I have a triton friend, and I have lots of friends.
I'm pleased for you. I am. And if it's any consolation, when I left, your mother and stepfather had no intention of following you here. They seem to be under the impression you'll return at some point on your own, which I think is
delusional.
Yes, I suppose that would be the word. Regardless, it seems, at least for the moment, that you'll be safe here, at least from them. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your life here. I'm sure you have a party or something to do with your friends.
No, you're not interrupting at all. I mean, there isn't anything that we were doing that is immediately pressing. We're gonna go do some investigation. Can I have him look at the notes? Like, I'll explain. Sure. Like, these are the towers. These are the things. Let me see all the notes.
Yeah, you can give it a try. Let's see if old man cleric, who actually isn't a cleric. He's not actually an adventurer. He's just a dude. But let's see. Let's see how his NPC level treats him. with an 18. Not bad. Not bad for an NPC. Let's see, what does he notice in the notes? He draws your attention to a section about basically the different Fae courts. And basically like connects them to lesser gods in one of the domains that you are aware of. So basically he's just kind of saying like, oh, did you know that like, I'm trying to think of like Greek and Roman equivalents, but that's kind of what he's doing, right? He's like, oh, this god is actually connected to this god. They're sort of parallels. So yeah, basically he gives you a little bit more information to understand which court is which, pulling on your own knowledge. So if you are trying to figure out which court a tower pulls from, you will have advantage to do so now because you know some of the gods.
Yay!
I don't know what your religion check is, but advantage is always fun.
Yeah. No.
Says, I'm sorry,
I'm not trained in religion.
I don't know much more than that, just some of these old names and descriptions. But hopefully it can serve you in some way.
Yeah, that was helpful. So they were going to the swamp next. I don't know what we're looking for, but
yes, you should of course be careful, but I don't think I'll be leaving anytime soon.
no, please don't
some more,
stay.
I'll give it some more thought, and maybe we can speak again. Maybe I can scour the libraries here in Caracat for you.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. I should be able to get back probably tomorrow or the day after. It won't be too long.
Of course. Okay. Well, I suppose read the letter when you can, and if there's anything I can do.
I know where to find you.
Yes.
And you know where to find me. The big building on the
yes, the campus.
Yeah.
Yes, Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you need anything, head up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, enjoy the city, and I'll come find you in a couple days.
Okay.
But relax and enjoy yourself.
Yes. I suppose I don't have anything else to do with my time.
A well-earned break.
Yes. He seems a little sad, but that's maybe normal. Like you said, he felt a little bit more like himself when he once he told you basically what was going on. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, head back to campus.
Yeah, I'm gonna, if I can, just stop at like a clothing store. If I could just order him some like bits, like another pair of shoes, a couple more things to wear, just to be sent to the inn.
Yep.
Like, and I'll pay for it.
Yeah, that's fine. You speak
So it's like
to, let me get his name here. He is the guy who speaks ASL. Is the guy who runs that shop.
Yep.
His name is Runin.
Yep.
So Runin nods and basically does his best to get information from you. Shoes are obviously difficult, so he decides on like some sandals, but he'll do his best.
Yep, that's fine.
And you head back to the stables, maybe to meet your friends.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, do we want to do everyone picking out their horse? Excuse me. Everyone picking out their horses.
Yeah.
Are we renting horses? Is that what we were going with?
So the school will lend out horses for students who want them, basically for like training and stuff. So as long as nothing happens to the horse, you're fine.
Can I roll to see if I sent out a letter soon enough to have a guard drake sent down for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
roll me a d20.
All right, d20. I literally rolled the 2 d20 that came with this Dark Moon dice set. Dark Moon dice on Instagram. And they both rolled 20s simultaneously, so I'm gonna see if I wasted that luck. Not necessarily. 16.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say 15. So yeah.
Sick.
All right. There is a you've got a few options here. So there's a guard drake here for you. There are also mostly horses, but there are also some like camels and other such riding animals. There's some big dogs.
Yeah.
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 So who wants to go first in picking out your horse? We're gonna roll for it on the horse table.
Can I roll on the
I want a
dog
horse.
table?
Yeah, I know. You don't want a horse. You don't want a horse.
Too small for a horse.
You
You
get a
could share a
pony.
horse with me.
I want. That's true. Is there like a punk little pony?
There's a punk little pony. Do you want a punk pony?
Absolutely. Its name is Gertrude. That's it. I'm good.
Gertrude the punk pony. Gertrude punk pony.
Does it have like the military haircut, like the like
Oh.
almost shaved down? Like you don't talk about it looks like a mohawk.
I feel like
the
I've
mane
probably
is-
licked my hands and I've gone like that with its mane enough, and I've made like this gross like
Is
haphazard.
this like the equivalent of when Arsene did the berry hair?
Hairy hair.
Yeah.
Hairy hair.
That's
Okay, roll me a D8. So you have a pony, stout and suitable for small riders and narrow trails.
Sorry, I'm rolling for this?
Yeah, give me a D8.
D8. What is that's D8.
I'm like, what's a D8? I've
What
never
is
heard of this number.
An 8.
Of the highest quality, a paragon of its breed.
Yeah. Gonna be the trashiest trash pony.
Okay, and another D8
Oh,
for its color.
another one. Another one. One.
It is bay coloring.
Bay. Okay.
Bay coloring. And let's see what its flaw is. So give me 2 D8s.
2 D8s. Okay,
Yeah.
so
One to see what the flaw is, and then to see how severe the flaw is.
okay, so the first one is a 7,
Okay.
and the second one is a 4.
Okay, your horse is a little steep-rumped.
Yeah, yes, she is.
But it's something that the horse can overcome. So I'm gonna say that like if you want to like slide off its butt at any point dramatically, like it's riding and then you're like slide off its butt, you can do that.
Absolutely, I love it. I have a trick pony.
Only one
We have
trick.
one trick pony.
The one.
Oh, and then one more for
That's
personality.
it. That's all you need.
Thank you.
So one more D8 for its personality.
One more. 6. Hitting all the numbers.
Most of the time, this horse is unimpressed.
I like him. I like you, Gertrude. Also, it's both a she and a him. It's a whatever.
It's a
It
horse.
loves
It's
life.
a beautiful
It's
little
horse.
pony.
Truly
Yeah.
gender fluid horse.
Gender
Exactly.
horses. That's what we like.
All right, who else wants to roll?
I mean, I can roll some things on those tables for this
Yeah.
guard drake. So let's kind of fuck around with that.
Okay. Yeah. So give me a D8 for its variety. We'll do a little
right.
play with it.
I'm cool with that. We can brainstorm this. I got a 6.
Oh, this is really good. So the equivalent for a horse would be a courser, swift and well suited for hunting and for battle.
Ooh, okay. So this thing probably is going to be a little bit more sleek, a little bit more panther-like in build than anything else.
It's like
Exactly.
you top of the line, Drake.
Yeah, this is
Very nice.
This-
Very nice.
okay. Okay. All right. Next, another D8.
Yep, another one. For the
4.
horse's quality. It is a hard keeper. It requires extra food to maintain its strength.
I understand how that goes. I'm gonna write that one down. Before
It's like Lark.
guard.
Class mode.
Guard. drake.
Okay. I'll let you pick the color. That just seems more fun.
Well, I'm cool with seeing a randomized kind of like this dragon scale guy he's crossbred. Weird, but neat.
That's dope.
If it's another D8, that's a 3.
3. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a random color generator. I'm gonna hit it 3 times.
Hit it. Fergie.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be such a weird color. Just wait.
I
Okay.
love it.
This is what I do.
3
anyways.
colors. Oh, it's gray.
Wait, that's 6. So silvers or grays?
That's right.
It's a squirrel gray.
A squirrel gray.
Squirrel gray. It's like a
Okay.
lighter shade of gray.
So that's the third. That's its main color. Is that like a gray? That's it's
Yeah.
okay. So let's say it's like because guard drakes, when they're created, they're literally using scales from dragons, and put into like a cauldron. Ritual happens and then they spawn from it. So maybe that there is black and white dragons that were in there, and has
Ooh.
since spawned this.
There you go.
That's
There
a
you go. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, 2 D8s for its flaw. So the first one is say what its flaw is and how serious it is.
All right, 8.
Mhm.
And the second one is a 7.
Okay, I don't even know what this means. Slab-sided.
Slab-sided.
So it is what it sounds like. It's very straight on the sides.
Oh, so it probably is not comfortable to sit on or something like that, or normally is like.
It says that riding it is a little embarrassing. So maybe you have like a weird trot on it. Like it's long and smooth, but has these wide sides, so you're kind of like
Oh, he
flopping every time.
blocks.
Oh, it's so like when horses' ribs are flat instead of curved.
Yeah.
And what was so is those two combined as slab-sided, or?
So it's slab-sided and it's a little embarrassing to ride.
Because I mean, I'm riding this thing that's kind of lurking around. I think it probably walks really low. And
Yeah.
it probably is a little like, well, I'm still pretty small next to these really tall horses.
Yep. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Okay, another D8 for a distinguishing feature.
6.
Oh, it has a little clip on its tail.
Okay,
We'll say it was in a fight and something like bit it and then,
Oh
you know,
no,
like a piercing.
okay.
the baby.
It probably has a very like nubby tail to begin with too, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Like a little slit.
Yeah,
cut
it's like
out
a
of it.
little toothless tail.
Cool.
And the last one for its personality.
That is a 7. Wow, good roll. 7.
Its personality is challenging.
Sick.
What's its name?
Oh, I'm gonna ooh.
Problem.
You know what? Let's look up something.
Okay. I like that this is like that they didn't send you like that your family was like, Charr can handle a hard one. It's fine.
I'm gonna say that this thing's name is probably Fumus, Fumus, which is Latin for smoke, so something like that.
Ooh, Fumus. I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
All
All right,
right.
writing that down.
Who's next?
I'll go next. Yeah.
Okay, you said you didn't want a horse specifically, though, right?
We don't
Well-
have to give me that because that's a
fine. So
little much.
The other options you have is so there's horse, there's deer, there are dogs, probably too small.
Too small.
Yeah, a lot of these aren't
Yeah.
like you don't know how to ride a flying mount yet.
Nope.
Like you
That's
can't fly
okay.
on a flying vulture.
This is a rental horse. This isn't like Moss's official mount.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm okay with this.
With
I'm
a
okay
horse,
with
okay.
getting. I'm okay
yeah,
with
start
getting
rolling
a
me
rental horse.
D8s. We'll find out more about your horse.
Okay. First
Do you know,
D8.
do you know a
is
name to
6.
start or no?
Nope. I will name it after.
6. You also have a courser, so swift and well suited for hunting and for battle. So got some good
Okay.
speed.
Good. We love it. The next D8 is an 8.
Again, highest quality of its breed. It's a very good one. So it's a courser.
Okay.
It's high quality.
Next D8 is a 5.
The next D8, it's also gray. Dear God.
I got Char's Drake as a horse.
Right? They're like, they look at each other and they're like, and he looks at me.
Next one is a 1.
It is pigeon toed.
Oh.
Poor Poor little
That's adorable.
pigeon-toed horse. It looks a
Oh,
little shy. It's like, what?
love them. Next one is a 5.
Okay. It's going to be a little difficult to ride it as a result, but if you keep riding this horse, you can overcome that
Okay.
if you like.
And
And 2 more.
7.
It has a scar on one of its like above one of its hooves. Again, probably from battle. And
Students
it's
really
personality.
mistreat these poor rental horses.
It's like a rental
Got
car.
7 again.
Jesus Christ. It's challenging as well. So yeah, the horse and the drake look at each other like, are you Freaky Friday?
They're either gonna have some real good kinship, or they're probably gonna be like,
Hate each other.
"Why are you copying? Why are you copying me? Why are you copying
Why are you
me?
copying
Why are
me?
you copying me?
Dog side.
Like they're
Dog
yeah.
side.
Yeah,
All right. And last but not least, start giving me some D8s. Somebody's like, his name has to be Penguin.
5.
5. You have a Runsley, a medium-sized horse suitable for riding and battle. Just kind of standard.
3.
It is a hack. It's mediocre but useful.
I respect that.
Right?
Respect that.
Respect that. This is
Yep.
like me.
I
Me
relate to that.
too.
You know, mediocre but useful.
So true. All right, yeah, another one for its coloring.
8.
White.
Okay.
White, useful horse.
Mediocre horse.
White, mediocre horse. Let's see what its flaw is.
7.
It is also steep rumped, so you can slide off its butt if you want.
Yeah.
Into battle.
I like a steep rump. Okay.
So let's see how, and then let's see distinguishing features.
3.
It's got big ears. Big ears.
That's okay.
Seems so sweet. And its personality, last but not least.
4.
Aloof. Aloof.
I like it.
There you go. There's your buddies.
quick.
His name is Waffle.
His name
Such
is
a
what?
good name. Waffle.
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 Such a good name.
That's
Such
perfect.
a good name.
What was the first thing on the table, really quick, that you had me roll? I think I rolled a 6 for it.
The first thing is a courser. So it's a
Courser.
swift and well-suited horse for
Courser.
hunting and battle.
Awesome. That's what I was hoping.
Enris is going to be riding a dray, which is a horse that's usually used for plows and wagons.
Damn.
The horse is also of a very high quality, though. Maybe you can use it to drag something out. It is roan colored. And it is mushroom hooved, which means it has really big feet. Kind of makes sense because it's like a working horse.
I love our misfit horses.
It has a wry tail, so its tail like flips to one side. It's a little like ah. And its personality is social.
Oh,
That's a buddy.
that's a boy.
All right. Anybody in the chat you want to name Enris's new horse? These horses will all be in the stables later.
Also, my horse is officially named Penguin.
Penguin, perfect. Penguin. And he's mushroom foot. Aw, he's a hard worker, hard-working horse. I like rolling horses. This is very detailed.
I like you rolling horses too. This is good.
I've never heard of a dray before, but I guess maybe I should have. Okay, What do we got here? Has anyone named it? Da-da-da-da. Nobody's given me a name yet.
George.
George?
Someone give a better name than George. Come on, you guys. You can do better than
Georgia.
Georgie?
Georgia.
We already have Gertrude.
It's true, yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, we have our old favorite, the mean horse. The horse that ruled 666. Remember we called her
Lucy.
Lucy. Thank you.
All right. Lucifer.
Is it bad that my brain went Devon?
Yeah.
Devin.
You just call him like horse or something.
What about this?
We've
this
already
horse
done
name? How about this horse's name is Peach or Peach Ring or something like that? Because I have a candy
Pancake.
jar that made me think of it.
Pancake. So there's a horse named Pancake and a horse named Waffle.
Are they related?
Yes.
It
The
based
divine
on the
sorcerers
descriptions, I
have
don't
breakfast
think
themed
so.
horses.
We have breakfast in the
Name him Falcon. No, I'll do Pancake. I like Pancake and Waffle. Just someone's like, who named these horses?
There's a horse in here
hungry.
named Syrup.
Somebody was
Someone was
hungry.
really hungry that day.
All right, so you've got your horses. You head out of the stables. Do you all know how to ride?
I think I might just because of the guard Drake stuff, but how do you want to roll that?
Well, so does anyone have proficiency in mounted combat, like mounts? I don't think so. Cool. No, it's gonna be a little bit of like one of those like everybody trots along kind of as a mess. Which way are you guys taking towards the swampland? So you've got a couple options. One of them is you can kind of follow the road up towards Caracat and then cut west. You could also just kind of go as much straight north as you can. Yeah, you could also look for somebody who knows this area of the road. I think the only person we know, or the only thing we know, is the fox. If you could find that fox again, it knows the way.
Oh my goodness. I have been trying to upkeep with the fox.
Find the fox. Find the fox.
The fox.
Would this be a survival or a survival roll to see if we can find out where that fox would be staying, or history? Because if I've already been, if I visited the fox once or twice already. No, wait, this is very recent. This was a couple days ago.
Yeah. You guys know where the fox is. You
Okay.
can go back to where it was.
We should bring offerings though. We should bring little.
Okay.
Yeah, offerings with fox. So for those who missed this lovely fox, this fox was sitting on the side of the road, very pitiful, being like, "No one's fed me in 100 years. I did this favor for these humans, and they never fed me again." So that's the fox's deal.
Poor baby.
Poor baby. But it claimed that it had brought some people through that area before.
Should we try to find the fox?
Find the fox.
Yeah, I
find the
think so.
fox, Find the fox.
Yep.
All right. You head up the road towards the area where you saw the fox initially. What do you guys say to try to entice the fox to come help you?
I'm
Charisma, persuade me as a fox to help you.
Question, everyone. This is, I'm guessing, as we are approaching. Did anybody happen to prepare speak with animals?
I have a thing for my survival class that I know how to guide a group and hunt game.
So maybe we don't need
Could
a
we-
fox.
Could I try and find it instead of
Yeah. So you want to try to find
Driving
game,
it
not
out?
kill game.
Yes, obviously, yes.
Fair enough. You can see that everyone else is kind of looking around at the ground, but you see that the fox is sitting up in a tree, just kind of looking down at you. It's like got one paw hanging, and it's just kind of like Cheshire catting it. It just looks at you. It's like, what do you want? Go ahead. It gives no indication that it understands that you want it to come down.
Charr.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Up there.
I wave up. I say out loud, I don't know if you can understand me, but I cannot understand you. And I'm going to try to rummage around and see if I actually packed any jerky or anything like that. If we were planning from this morning to come out and visit the fox or something like that, I would have probably grabbed it before I left,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing.
What do you remember what the fox likes?
No. But I brought him meat.
Warm meals. Yeah, meat, right?
Yeah.
Warm. It wanted.
You guys brought
warm.
him some warm meat?
I brought him jerky. I go over to the edge of the road to see if he'll come down to the tree, and I kind of squat and I put this here, and I say, before he comes down and I put it out, I'm like saying, if you can understand me, sit up but don't jump down, and I walk closer with the meat.
Insight?
I'm gonna try insight. I'll take a 19.
Cool. You can tell the fox is like, you think I'm some kind of pet? You can tell me what to do? You can't tell me to sit up.
Does he move at all from the tree?
No, it just whips its tail a little bit like, you know when a cat doesn't want to be pet?
Yeah.
And he goes like, whip, whip, whip. It kind of does that with its big fluffy tail.
I just say, look, I don't have the means to actually communicate with you like I normally would try to. So I'm just trying to see if I can communicate with you. Can you communicate with me? And how do you want to try to communicate with me? If you're so clever.
If you're so clever.
Can I throw that persuasion on there?
Ooh.
Can I throw a persuasion on that?
Sure.
21.
Okay. Is that enough because you smarmed it? It looks at you very intentionally, sits up, shows you its chest, and then jumps to another tree further in.
All right.
It's like, I know you. Fuck you.
I like this fox.
Lark, do we need the fox's help? I say that very loudly so it can hear us.
Trying to get it mad at us?
No, and I don't know if it would help us now.
Could I try to say something?
You
Yeah.
could. I already brought snacks for it anyway, just because it seemed so sad last time. As I put like a bowl out, like just being nice.
What's in your bowl?
I feel like I've taken some. It's a combination of like ground beef, like with topped with like pork rinds on top. So there's like the crunchy and then the soft.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Just like
You can still see it like in the treetops. It's just like you can just see its little snout as it looks kind of out on the branch looking at you all.
it's up to her. Up to her.
Yeah, what does Tamzie try to say to new friend?
Well, if I see everyone else struggling, I have no actual nature experience. I feel like she's the kind to go and like jump in mud puddles and like play in creeks and have no idea what's happening around her and like with the wildlife. So I'll just come over and after oh my god, after Moss is done laying down the snacks, I'll just come over and I'll be like, so sorry to bug you. Pardon me. He's having a really bad day, but we're trying not to. And like, it kind of seems like you're having a chill time out here and like, we don't want to bug you too much. But if you had it in your heart and, you know, you just don't be mad at him. He's, like I said, having a really rough day. Did you see the thing he's riding? It's so cute, but it's definitely a little funny looking. I say riding my sloped ass horse.
And Moss just dismounted her pigeon.
I like, it's up to you. Yeah, like she said, if you want to help us, absolutely would be appreciated, because your massive knowledge of the forest, goes unchallenged, because your foxes, you got this place down to a tap. You got your fingers on the pulses of the whole forest society and stuff, and I trust you totally. So if you want to help, greatly appreciated for me, but if you don't, I wish you have a great day, enjoy your snacks.
But if you don't, I wish you a great day. All right, in between that and the food that Moss has left out, it'll hop down to have some. It looks at Charr and flips its tail a little bit, like, oh. Trot, 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 trot. This fox thinks it's like the hottest thing that has ever been.
It is.
And
That fox is hot.
The fox is right.
And it starts checking out the food. You guys haven't asked it for what you actually want yet, so
Y'all just gave it the reward without.
It's been nice to
But I
the
mean-
fox.
Yeah,
Because
it's actually listening. So what was it that we wanted to do again? Was it directions?
To see if it can guide us through the swamps, if it knew where the tower was, considering it's a completely different environment than what it was used to. If it knew the way to it still, and you know what, I was. If this works, I will rescind my disbelief, but I am not sure it will do as we need without it actually being able to communicate by verbally. So fingers crossed.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's selling it a little short. He seems pretty smart. He.
She's really smart.
To...
Didn't we name the fox? I forgot the fox's
name is Fox.
you asked the fox its name.
Its name is Fox.
And its name
Oh
is
yeah,
Fox.
with like nice font though. It's like elegant fox. Okay.
In cursive.
Yeah, it's spoken in cursive.
Thank you so much for your time, coming down from the tree. We really appreciate it. We were wondering, since, seems like you're the fox to go to for adventures, advice, and being led places, we were wondering if you could, bless us with your navigation skills and lead us to the tower that's in the swamp, just if you wanted to. If not, that's okay. You can enjoy your day, but we would really appreciate it. And, the more students come to you, I imagine word will spread and more students will come for you for help with hopefully treats and offerings. We hope. It's really nice. You're really beautiful after all, so they might just want to get to see you with your magnificent tail. The vain fox. I'm playing.
It takes its time finishing its meal. And then it kind of looks at you all, and it starts leading you off, or it starts heading down a trail, whether or not it's bringing you anywhere in particular.
Well, we're either gonna die or we're gonna have a great adventure. Either way,
Can we insight check the fox?
I already did
Sure.
once.
You can try.
I'm gonna give
insight
advantage.
check the fox?
Or I'm gonna
I
use
also
help.
made a huge mistake.
I think yours might be better than mine.
I was looking for pictures of the of all the horses to add to the server, and I realized that adding punk pony may not have been the most useful description, because most of them are My Little Pony characters.
No, give me a punk pony. Give me my Gertrude punk.
Punk aesthetic horse.
Listen, we all need...
I rolled a 16 on the inside of this horse, which is good for Moss.
Okay, so you roll on whether or not the fox is helping. You get the sense that the fox is going to help to some degree, but is probably going to cause a little bit of mischief.
We have Lark leading us.
So you may,
Lark is like
may
double
not want to
checking.
rely entirely on the fox. You may need Lark to
That's fine.
to catch the fox in its lies.
That's fine.
If push comes to shove, if it turns out that we are misled or deceived or are stolen from, I will have no problem with nature running its course.
And I look over at my guard Drake, and I'm guessing it looks over, kind of
Are you
like bares its
intimidating the
teeth.
fox to behave?
Yes.
All right, roll for intimidating the fox.
Can I have advantage because of the guard Drake, who might be hungry because he needs to eat a lot more?
Sure, yeah. He just like the guard drake licks its lips.
Oh my god. This poor fox.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that is a 19.
Yeah, Charr, what is with Charr and this fox today? You got beef or something?
Yeah.
We didn't before, but now we
There's the
do.
beef.
Now we do.
Last time Char was the one who was peacefully talking to this fox, and now it's
Now he's
full
turned.
180.
Having a day, Charr. Having a day.
Hey, I know these things are cunning.
It's just one of those days. The immediate reaction of the fox is to just like take on a burst of speed and just race forward. You guys can certainly try to keep up. You're on like kind of a thin, I'm gonna say like deer trail. Yeah. So yeah.
How bad
It
could
just takes off. It's like off we go.
Okay.
All right. Ah!
Pulled away.
Okay, go full speed ahead.
Now everyone's like, how do you ride a horse again?
Hold on.
So everyone
I'm just
runs to
waiting
their
for one of our
horse.
horses to stop to munch on the on something nearby.
It's just like
Like,
full
as
speed and then
horses
just
do.
like immediate stop. Just
Yeah.
Oh my
Lark-
god.
As horses do.
Lark, can you navigate as we go to make sure we're not off course? The maps should be accurate.
Yeah,
Lark,
I'll continue
your horse
to
is
guess.
good at this at least.
Oh my
Hell
goodness.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
let's
we're going
let's get a couple of survivals to see how well you do chasing after this absolutely terrified fox.
Are we all rolling, or is it like a party roll?
We're gonna do a party roll and have Lark roll because you guys are just basically following Lark. All of these horses are sort of trained like trail horses, so if they see the horse in front of them going somewhere, they'll kind of follow. But if Lark goes off the trail, the others probably will too.
23.
All that drowning you
I didn't spend a semester getting drowned for fucking nothing, okay?
It's true. It's true. Cool. So you can tell. You basically constantly are keeping kind of the fluff of the fox's tail kind of in view. It is kind of like darting back and forth. It looks like it keeps trying to find like bits of cover where it can, as if it like it's running from cover to cover. And it races ahead through the woods. Because you are on horseback, it's only about 20 minutes, but you're at a pretty good clip before you guys see the very sudden beginning of a swampland. So it's literally like a tree, forest, perfectly normal, and then it's like a line has just cut, and now it's completely swamp. It doesn't look like it started any kind of naturally. It's literally just like suddenly chopped into the ground. And all of the horses, I mean, following Lark's horse is named Waffle. Yeah. I forgot because one's named Pancake. So Waffle like basically like just suddenly like slows, like just slams on the brakes basically, having seen what is ahead, and looks very unsure about continuing. So you're all basically very suddenly stopped. You know, all your horses just suddenly come to a stop. There's two of you of horses that you can fly off the back. Shall we do a deck save to see if you fly off the back of your horse?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's Charr and oh my god, I want to say Frenzy, but it's not
Pansy,
Frenzy.
you could call her Franzy.
I got the
Friends.
slab sided. I'm not sure if
I
that
had
would
the
be.
steam.
Oh,
Lark.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lark and
And
Tamzie.
11?
I got a 17 for my roll.
So you both slide off the back of the horse, but Tansy somehow manages to like walk it off as if that was my plans. Like you slide and then you just kind of like walk up the side and grab its reins. Like, what's up?
Stick the land.
Like you don't lose your feet, but you kind of just standing behind the horse like, I'm fine.
the squish of the mud beneath her feet, like
Just starts sinking slowly.
You're in quicksand. No, you're not in quicksand. Yeah, ahead of you is the
I'm gonna give
swamp.
Waffle a hug.
Aw.
and tell him that she was a very good horse and did a really good job and was very brave. That's the aloofness. Mhm.
Probably say the same thing to Gertrude, but I smack her on the ass and I go, "Go, go, Gertrude!"
Yeah, so ahead of you, as far as you can tell, this is like a pure swampland. Like on the plus side, there's probably a lot of really good stuff in here that you couldn't necessarily otherwise get. So like if you guys wanted to like try to collect some plants or some dyes or do any fishing, there's probably stuff here. And of course, you'll have to continue on in to find the tower.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you asking?
I'm saying possible mushrooms or thing.
Mushrooms? Mushrooms?
How well are these horses going to travel through marsh? I guess is my.
They don't
Yeah, are we gonna
really
train
want
this
to.
Okay.
Some of them probably could make it. Enris's horse is definitely not going to make it. Like it's been struggling on the trail just because it's so wide.
Yeah, let's please not attray you any horses here.
Let's not. That one of those traumas is plenty.
Yeah, we don't need any
Yeah,
more
that's-
never-ending
that's-
stories here.
Stuck with
Yeah.
me since the 80s, so let's Mm-mm.
One thing that we all learned: save the horse.
Save the horse.
Mario,
Kill the boy.
Super Mario
Kill
has
the boy,
never
save
told
the
me that.
horse. Yeah. I don't know.
Goodness.
That's just good advice. I mean, horses are a lot harder to find than boys.
They're also spicy pricey.
Spicy, pricey. Boys are cheap. Cheap.
It's true. Look at me.
Yeah, the fox has disappeared into the woods. It's like I did my part. I'm gone. I'm gonna go into hiding again.
I
I'm
give
not
him like
going
some of
in
my
there.
rations before he does, and I'll be like, I got one from my pocket. Is this okay?
It's body heat.
It's bad.
If you leave it with the horses, it may. No, actually, the drake's here. Yeah, it's gone. It's burst
Poor
off
fox.
back. It's not. It did what it said it would do, and it's not getting its paws wet.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Do you know how
Oh,
hard it is to get swamp out of a tail when you have to lick
Oh.
it?
I would never.
It's gonna be all up in my fur. It's gonna suck.
Ooh, 0 to 10. But yeah, so you guys can tie up your horses here. They'll be okay here. Nothing kind of special. They clearly don't really want to go into the swamp anyways. It seems like they're just kind of like, this is weird. Like they have some kind of awareness that like, don't like that.
That's fair.
But they don't seem scared. They're just kind of like, no.
Apprehensive.
Like I'll stick over here. You guys can.
I'm gonna hang out over here, y'all.
They're like, love that for you. Love that for you.
Love it for you. Love it.
I'll
for
be
you.
here when you guys come
Not
back.
for me.
Yeah.
So given the information that you got, basically kind of a combination of like talking to Enris, the information from the other towers, and kind of the general where you are, because obviously Lark has a really good awareness of where on a map you guys are. It's probably going to take you like an hour to get to the tower. And that's assuming you don't fall into any gunk or get, slowed down by any of the animals or things here. It is very clear that while there are no animals from the forest here, it seems like some animals from wherever this was are here.
Like gators.
Hooves are not great for swamp.
Are we dealing with gators?
Might.
Are your hooves making like the farty noise every time you
Yeah.
fall?
Yeah, and like the mud is sticking on the
Oh, that's
fur
so
of my legs.
Oh,
it's like
it's gonna. You're like, I get. why the
You're
fox doesn't wanna come
especially
here.
not built for this. You got those, they'll go right into the mud.
yeah.
You don't have the big floppers. that-
Somebody should have got you
No.
like snowshoes.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Swamp
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
We didn't think this through.
They did. It's so bad.
Try to stick to the
The horses are like, that looks
roots?
like hoof rot. No thanks.
Oh.
Somebody could carry moss.
I mean,
I'm the only person big enough.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I
I-
don't think
I have a strength
carrying
of
moss is
13.
happening. I don't think carrying
so-
moss is happening.
So yeah, so like if you keep up like kind of like a really quick pace, avoid any danger, you can make it there in an hour. You can also just choose to go more slowly and more intentionally. So if you want to tell me, let's say for every thing you're being really careful of, I'll add an hour to your time. So if you're like, we're avoiding any quicksand or something, it'll take you 2 hours. If you're like, we're avoiding quicksand and any animals, or we're keeping an eye out for animals. So yeah, what kind of things are you guys keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, wait. No gators, please.
Predators and quicksand, please. On the quicksand, little patches of land. I like little land patches. That sounds great.
They're your friends.
Okay, so you're keeping out for any kind of animals that might attack you. You're looking out for kind of natural hazards.
I'm also looking for creatures I might be able to hunt, like any larger birds or maybe even a reptile of sorts. I don't want to do that to a turtle, though. That's oh.
Any reptiles is where we draw the line.
Yeah, they're so defenseless.
Okay. Do we want to say maybe like I'll include that with just keeping an eye out for animals. I'll let you know what animals you come across. You can decide what you want to do with them. Did you guys want to do some foraging as well?
Foraging? Yes, I would.
Stuff and foraging in the swamp. You sign me right up. I'm here.
Why not?
Sign me up for precious herbs for potion brewing.
Yes, I like very much. Yes,
you count that as foraging as well. Lark,
I'm gonna stick all my focus. I'm gonna stick all my focus on like leading the group and finding a good, safe path.
Okay.
The least dirty path.
The least
Sorry. I'm doing it for
appreciate
Moss.
least dirty. I
I appreciate
this.
that.
Moss.
Or you
I don't
guys
like mind getting. It's just the squelching. It's
just the skull.
I know. I'll try and I believe you. I'll get the cleanest way there.
I'm just imagining all the
back.
gunk in between, like the hooves, like how nasty that must feel for her. It's just like
You have prestidigitation, don't you?
I don't.
I'll clean you every like 5 minutes or so.
don't.
I'll clean you off.
I don't have
5 minutes, everyone gets like a random car wash.
It's a cantrip. I'll just
No, I appreciate this. Just imagine how matted her fur would have been after this without Lark. Just like,
I'll clean you up. I'll clean you
thank
up as we
you.
go. Absolutely. It's a cantrip. And you
Yeah.
bring me potatoes. Oh my god, we're best friends.
yes,
A potato.
potatoes.
I'm a potato.
I'm a potato. All right. So keeping those things in mind, it will take you about 4 hours to make your way towards the
That's
tower. But you are quite sure at least none of those things are going to be difficult. So you guys
How's
brought
Enris doing? I'm just curious.
Enris is also like, thank you for the prestidigitation. Like, he's gonna be doing it to himself every like 2 minutes. So like, you take. Enris is like, I should not have worn a cloak this long, and is like trying to figure out how you can like tie it.
It's like, oh,
You always wear
He's
crop
got kind
tops,
of
wrap
like
it
a-
around your chest like a toga, but
Yeah, he decides in the end the best way to do it is he flips up the bottom and ties the bottom around his neck, so he's got kind of like
He has like a cape thing.
a mini cape. And I don't know, whoever, let's say Tamzie, I feel like this is a Tamzie thing. You realize that'd be an excellent place to put mushrooms in. Like, he's made like a little backpack for mushrooms.
or you could also probably fit
Or
in
you could be a little
there. Legs it up.
Is he strong enough to carry? I just imagine him flopping over like into.
Enris has got really good stats.
Yeah, and Tamzie only weighs like, she's barely 40 pounds, which is like, if you've
A
ever held a
backpack.
thing- yeah, it's like if you've ever held like a thing of cat litter, that's how much
that's
a Tansy is.
I can't believe you describe your character as she weighs as much as a bag of cat litter.
That's fair. Cat-
Can you imagine if you
As someone
weighed
who
yourself
used to
in
work
bags
at a
of cat
shelter,
litter?
moving pallets of cat litter is a workout.
Although
It's
I will
fine.
say that
That's
that
what I
is
do for
kind
a
of,
job.
it kind of sounds like the way they do it in England with stones.
Yeah, how mumuch cat litter do you weigh? About like 20
like 2.
kilograms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also Tansy's probably also taken off her boots and they're probably in her bag and she's rolled her stuff up and she's just hoofing it barefoot.
Yeah?
like, her goblin roots are just like mud.
Mud. Everything's wet and soggy.
Swamp.
Yeah, so you make your way into the forest, or sorry, into the swamplands. It is unpleasant. The air is really wet and heavy, and it smells very.
Boggy?
It smells boggy, yeah. So it's got like that, like.
It's got
It's
the
very, very natural. Like there's a lot of like you can smell decomposition, methane, like that kind of stuff in there. Weirdly, it smells like a normal swamp. Like it doesn't smell like anything weird happened. About halfway, I'm gonna say Lark manages to find you a place where you can stop for some water. You find like an area where there's actually some clean drinking water. And you can basically sit down for a little while and rest, because this is hard walking. Like it's, especially for those of you who are small, it's taking a lot to kind of pick up through that mud to make it. You do come across various animals. You do come across a couple alligators at one point. Let me know if you stop for any of these things. You see some snakes of 2 different varieties.
I think I would stop for one of the snakes. I would try to capture it, because snake meat is
full of protein, and we need to be. Well, I want to eat the snake.
Yeah, I want to eat snake. Let's be really clear. I want a steak.
Tance is probably like, yeah, I'll help you with that
A
one.
lovely fillet.
How are you guys gonna take the snake? The one you guys see that seems the one that you're like, oh yeah, is like it's like one of those like water snakes where you can see it like swimming, you know?
That's a challenge.
He's slithering.
What was the other snake?
Gonna get this snake.
What was the other snake that we saw as well, just so I can...
The other one is, it's a smaller snake, and it's up on a tree branch above you. And Lark actually like stops. I'm gonna say like it. You're kind of standing there for a second, and it goes to try to climb onto Moss's antlers, like thinking it's more branch.
That's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
And Lark's like, "Come here." Let's just out of the way. That's a snake.
Yeah. I would say that's not the first time that's happened to me.
Just like wake up outside covered in snakes, and you're like, "What happened?" I didn't get this drunk.
Like she's from a forest, so like there's snakes in other biomes.
It's true.
Can
It's true.
I give Charr like a bonus if I give him advice on how to hunt the snake? How to get the snake?
Yeah, you can tell him about basically what you know about this variety of snake. Give me a nature check.
And you guys all said don't take survival
I didn't
class.
say
Everyone
that.
was
I did
like,
not say-
why are you taking survival
Oh, actually,
class?
you know what?
It's
Nature-
useful. We're just saying that it's not worth being drowned every.
Nature
also-
or
it's also
survival,
traumatic.
because this is a
All the
poison
good stuff
snake.
is.
Also, I'm already proficient.
That's fair. You could have been more proficient.
Double proficient.
Double proficient. So what do you want me? Sorry, what do you want me to do?
Nature or
Extra.
survival, because this is immediately this is a poisonous snake, so
Oh.
you get the option of survival.
16.
You basically tell Charr how to like how the snake moves. So like, here's how it normally moves, here's where it's probably going, this is what it's doing. So enough to kind of anticipate a little bit its movement.
And I don't get bit because yeah, I can only do so much, and I don't have
Could I just pick it up using
poison.
Mage Hand? just
and just strangle. Oh my god, that's so.
Not
You
you can
guys
just
are
hold it. You
savage.
can just hold it
You
without.
guys are
I didn't say
fucking
strangle
savage.
it.
Whack
You're
it
the
against whack it against a tree.
I did not say. I just said grab it. I didn't say like
Well,
strangle.
if you're gonna eat it, somebody has to.
I'm not gonna kill it. I'm just saying that if it's poisonous, it might be smart to do Mage Hand.
Or I guess-
That-
My mistake. Venomous.
Venomous.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My mistake.
Will hurt when bitten.
See,
Yes.
the water is poisonous. That's the.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's. I look over at Moss. Were you gonna make?
I can.
I'm gonna.
If you would like. The best good part about that is I can make it appear like under it when it doesn't see it because it has a distance, so I don't even have to get close.
I'm gonna.
I look right at where it's like about to swim. It's like, I think it's like there's a moment where it'll probably like swim right in front of the shore, and I'm going to dive straight down like a like a heron like poking or a crane poking its beak into the water to like dive a fish. I'm gonna do that to grab it right by its head. Like around like the back of the neck. Back of the neck.
All right.
Yeah. And then Moss is gonna mage hand it to kind of like push it in his mouth if he needs the extra help.
Here. I guess this is a grapple.
If you want to call it a grapple, sure.
Let's call it a snake grapple.
Do you want to call it? Do you want to have it be like a dexterity thing instead? Because I still need to catch it first.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right, let's do give me a dexterity check.
Cool.
Or sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand works. That works. Same thing.
Lady hands.
As I'm about to jump in, I'll be like, Tamzie, if I don't come back up, jump in for me.
Okay. How do you do?
I was helping technically.
If
5.
If
I was
Moss is helping.
Yeah, if you get advantage from, you already got an advantage from Lark, and then its AC or its thing is lower because of Moss. Did you roll with advantage?
I rolled 2 ones.
I'm jumping in after.
Okay, want to hear the hilarious
Dying in the
thing?
swamp.
The snake rolled a 1 too.
Okay, it was a 5. It was a 5. It was a total of 5. Total of 5.
We're just gonna see the most like tragic like hunting example ever. Like that was pure luck.
It looks
so
like
you see Charr jump in like he's trying to be a crane, but he kind of like belly flops onto the belly of the snake, and he's grabbing it, and the snake is just kicking. So you just see the two of them locked in this battle. The snake's trying to wrap around him.
To make it worse, I'm guessing this is like for everyone else like knee to waist deep water. So
it's splashing everywhere.
So I dive in. I think I hit it and I hit the bottom like, and it starts constricting me. It's not a constrictor, but why is it doing this?
Can I jump in when I see him thrashing? Because I feel like this is like the most intense, like death-threatening situation.
It looks intense. Like Charr has its head. It's not bitten. Like it is hat, but you can't stop. The rest of the snake is so much bigger than you.
Can I start punching the snake?
Yeah. So Tamzie jumps in and starts punching the snake. An armed attack.
Okay.
What a fucking nightmare this party is.
I need help.
If you need help, I'll shoot it.
18 to hit.
Yeah, you hit it.
Okay.
Punch that snake.
All right, you're gonna punch the snake.
Okay, we got a wolf puncher or werewolf puncher, a snake puncher.
All right, so he takes 7 points of snake damage, and then I get another punch afterwards for my unarmed attack. He gets another 2 points. So what was that? 7,
9
damage.
Tamzie leaps in and punches the snake to death.
She pre-tenderized the meat.
just monk
Enris
punches the snake.
And Moss and Lark are just like.
Enris keeps trying to say something. He's like, but he doesn't know what to say. Like he's just like, I don't understand what this was.
There's nothing. There's nothing to say.
I'm actually gonna look around because they made quite a bit of a commotion, which is gonna attract predators. So I'm just gonna be like,
yeah, you guys are looking around and probably like, oh my god, Charr, I saved you. Oh my god, you were about to die. Are you okay?
Moss, give me a perception roll.
Perception? That's an 18. Wait, is that an 18? Sorry. I played a different character yesterday and I forgot my stats. Yep, that's 18.
That's valid.
Oh boy.
18.
18. Yeah. Let me pull up the stats for this thing.
Oh goodness.
That's not worrying at all.
It's fine. You see under the water something going towards the two of them. It looks like almost like a, I want to say that from your perception it looks like a swarm of something.
Out of the water, guys. There's something coming towards you. Get out of the water.
There's something in the water?
Okay.
Yep,
Oh, yeah,
out of the water. Get out of the water.
All right, hon. Everyone, take the steak.
I'm gonna
Take the
just
steak
go
first.
over. I'm gonna pick up Tamzie by her arms.
Let me just lip
Child.
You know, like you pick up like a toddler.
Lark, you're the
Like,
tall
yeah.
person in the party. You get to like get the top, all of the top things on the cabinets.
I am the tall person in the
You are
party,
the
aren't
tall
I?
person.
Moss, can you take the snake? I'm gonna climb out, but I need to do.
I throw it.
Charr and
Yeah.
Tamzie, what's your initiative? Let's see if you get out before it.
Oh no! Is it
I'm
just a
p-
great initiative?
I'm watching it and I'm preparing an attack if needed.
Yeah.
Did you want us to roll initiative?
Yeah. Could I use my initiative bonus on it?
Because
On what?
On this?
Oh yeah, if we're rolling initiative, I
Oh
rolled a
yeah,
7.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just seeing whether or not you guys have enough time to get out before this happens.
12.
7.
Oh no! Oh no!
I do have blind sight though, so I can technically see what's around.
Yeah, that's true. So Tamzie, with Lark's help, you are dragged from the water very quickly. Moss, you're keeping an eye out. It looks like one of these creatures, whatever they are, has gotten close enough to Charr and is going to be able to grab him before he gets out.
Can I stab?
And yeah, I guess you guys, the rest of you might as well roll initiative too now, right?
Yeah.
So Charr, you had 7,
Yes.
and Tamzie, you had 11.
I had 12, yeah.
12.
Swamp thing. Let us go.
Swamp thing.
Swamp thing.
16 for Lark.
My heart.
Yup.
17 for Moss.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this thing does get a surprise attack on Charr. Just one of them does. So let's see if it manages to attack him.
But we saw it before it came.
And I
I
do
know,
have
but he
blind
didn't
sight.
get out.
But he had a warning and he has blindsight.
It has blind sight as well. Actually, it has a really good stealth. I probably should have had to roll a stealth check, but that's me being a dummy. All right. Does a 14 hit you, Charr?
It does not.
There you go. So it you see something that is like smooth and black kind of leap at Charr through the water, but it does not seem to like he dodges it basically. So Moss is you.
For the first time ever, you guys see Moss use a short bow because she doesn't want to get in the water with this thing.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
fair enough.
That's fair. It's like, does a what is that? A 12 does an 18 hit?
Yep.
Great. That's gonna be a 3d6. I can do basic math.
I can't.
I've been told.
I can't.
I can do basic math.
Oh my God.
That'll be 12 piercing.
12 piercing. All right.
Yes, I did the math right.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you stab an arrow into the thing, and it doesn't make a sound, but it does seem temporarily slowed. It also starts leaching blood into the water. Like the water is just becoming red around it.
Oh, that's so bad for us.
Oh no.
Oh no. Lark?
Anybody need healing?
Not yet.
No? No? Okay. Right. I'm gonna do a sacred flame.
Okay.
Save for the snake.
Yeah. Okay. Just being a sorcerer, but just like being a cleric, being just as useless. It's great.
Clerics are not
Mediocre but
useless.
useful. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that's a deck save. 14. For the
Cool.
snake.
14. Nope. One of them saves. All of your party members also need to give a save, please.
You said it's Dex?
Oh, okay.
Oh, easy. 21.
18. Wait, no. It's more than that.
I think 18's enough.
It's a
Tamzie?
dirty 20.
Tamzie, what'd you get? Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, I got COVID. I'm a little...
Yeah, sorry, my brain's a little slow today. I do have the COVIDs. Staying home, staying safe.
It's a little... Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
little.
So
We're
dex,
trying to be here.
dex save.
So yeah, sorry. So that was. Oh, no, hang on. It's cocked. Dex save 17.
Okay. Did those all pass? Lark? Okay, so you hit 2 of the creatures in the water. How much damage do they take?
Do I roll twice or just once?
Just
Do you
once.
care?
Nah.
Oh, 5 damage. Sorry.
5 damage. 5 damage. As you shoot out the fire from your hands, you see the methane gas around you start to like sizzle with the fire. All your party members see it coming and manage to like jump back, but it basically, instead of making it a cone, makes it like a flat out, like everything in front of you blows up.
I mean, does it at least look cool?
It looks really cool. It looks awesome. It looks very dangerous.
I feel like
Good enough.
I feel like Tamzie probably puts her face under the swamp water rather than like anyone else who like jumped out of the way. It was like duck under.
Hey, it worked.
Nasty.
Yeah. So next is Tamzie.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my great club from my little holster in the back, and I'm gonna
Great club.
swing at him.
All right. Which one are you swinging at? The one who attacked Charr?
Yeah, the one that attacked
Okay.
Charr.
Oh, good old Charr.
I'm honestly picturing this. You know how like kids will take a big stick and slap it on the top of the water to make it like, Gah! This is exactly as I'm picturing it.
Yeah, just bad.
Hate water.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm attacking that one. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does indeed hit.
Hell yeah. Okay. So that gets 1d8. Where's my d8? So he gets 10 damage for my first hit, and then I'm going to, as soon as I finish swinging with my club, I'm going to like kind of drop it to the one hand, and then I like bring my other hand back and I do like a full haymaker to whatever its face looks like.
Full haymaker to it. Yeah, okay.
Just kind of do a little jump and swing with the momentum. That's 17.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, and that's 6 points.
6 points. Is 6 total damage?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not looking good. You got close enough to it that you can tell it doesn't seem to have a face. It's just got a weird pucker hole.
Oh wait, sorry. Wait, no, that's not 6. Sorry, I'm still a D4 right now. Sorry, I rolled a D6. Hang on. Sorry, 3 damage.
Okay.
Not 6 damage. Pardon me.
Well, yeah, you see its gross little face.
Ew.
Yeah, it's nasty looking. It's very smooth though.
Can I poke it in the face as a free action?
Big boop.
Just see if
It is a free action. Enris is Enris is next. Enris is going to be a badass and use erupting earth. He reaches his hand out and he kind of grasps it and lifts upward, and all of a sudden a fountain of churned earth erupts in a 20-foot cube, shooting all 3 of the creatures into the air, so they have to slam back down into the water. So they're
He's like,
gonna
these
try
level 3s.
yeah, he's a level 3 spell. He's a big boy. So let's see how much damage he does. This does potentially a ton of damage. So they need to make saves, right? They need to make saves. So that one saved.
Yep.
That one saved. Ha! The last one got a natural 1. There's no way this thing's surviving this. They take 3d12 damage and half on a failed save. So 7, 19, 27 damage, which is enough to flat out kill the one he hits. And then half of that is 13. Yeah, so he slams 2 of them. Basically, they fly up in the air and then they crash back down dead. And you can see them kind of floating on top of the water. So there's only 1 left.
Hey. Whose turn is it?
It is that thing's turn. It is going to try to get to who's the closest, would you say?
I mean, I'm still in the water.
All right,
Tamzie and
Charr, it's
Charr.
coming at you. Trying to bite you. 22.
That does hit. Who would have thought?
That's a no.
It does 8 piercing damage and attaches to you.
Oh, that's perfect. If it attaches, that changes everything I need to do on my side here.
Yeah, so this creature is attached to Charr. You can decide where.
It's if I'm in water, it's probably getting under a rib or something like that, or like
Yeah.
under an arm or something.
All right, so there's a giant creature underneath Char's arm.
It seems very leechy.
It's an extra limb.
And Charr, it's you.
Since it's attached to me, I don't need. It's not a grapple. It's just attached to me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna climb out of the water. I'm gonna pick up my sword, and I am gonna cast. I'm gonna swing my sword at it or saw at it. I'm gonna grab it by its like long part and just start sawing at it. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna try to cast Searing Smite. But
Ooh.
so do you want me to roll an attack on him?
Yeah. I think you get advantage if something's on you, don't you? Because
Yeah.
it's not moving. So
Yeah.
effectively
I
get a
was say,
coup de
can it
grace.
breathe in air? Because if he's lifting it up,
I mean, I
Thinking about
crit
air.
on that.
It can breathe water and air.
Oh.
I did crit on that, so I will be sawing this thing in half here.
All right.
So it's I'm using a long sword. It is technically with one hand, so it's a D8. How are we doing crit damage in this? Are we doing just double die or?
I usually do roll twice just because it's fun to roll more
Okay,
dice.
That's true.
Right? It's just satisfying. I don't know.
It's just satisfying.
It just feels good.
16, and then I have my Smite, which I'm gonna get right here really quick, which is Searing Smite. Let's see, it's 1d6 fire damage for first level, so I'll do 2d6 for that then. So I'm at 16 slashing.
Yeah.
And and 10 fire damage on this thing, so 26 damage total as I'm just sawing at it. When it's burning, I think there's like maybe a faint glow around like the bottom of my eyes when I do this because it's like illuminating off the blade itself. But I'm just
So
sawing.
gross.
It is. You can smell it as it cooks.
As because you use fire, thankfully most of the fumes in the area have been dissipated by Lark.
Yeah.
But because you are literally against this, you'll take an extra 4 damage just
I
because
can live with that.
against you. But yeah, you slice that thing in half. You get like a nice center cut.
It is dead.
It is dead.
All right.
All 3 of them are dead. 2 of them are just like smashed to death, sitting in the water, and one of them is off the side of it's still attached to you. It's just not doing anything, and then the other half's on the ground.
Mm-hmm. So, just to quickly throw some text for the Searing Smite spell itself. The next time you hit a creature with a melee attack during the spell's duration, the weapon flares blah 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 damage, and it causes the target to ignite in flames. At the start of each of its turns until the spell ends, the target must make a con save, but it's dead, of course. On a failed save, the fire is over. But if on a failed save, it has to use its action to try to douse itself, I believe. Unless it does, it douse itself unless it's on fire. So that wasn't going to be anything. Never mind. It's dead anyways.
It's dead.
I wanted to make sure it just unclips from my flesh.
Yeah. So you yank it off. You've got like a little pucker mark from where it was gonna try to suck you dry.
As soon as it pops off him, can I do like I'm like jumping because I think it's still alive, and I'm like, oh yeah!
It's like the video of the guy elbows off in the
body
gate.
slams it.
Like full explosion of mud too.
Yeah, like as you land, it like sinks into the mud, and you sink into the mud, and like it slams everyone around you in mud. Yeah, good job, guys. You killed 3 of these things. Do you want to do anything with them, or are you just gonna leave them?
I
Should we search him?
can we eat them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat them. The smear
How
set.
Healthy to eat them?
This-
Because those are 2 different questions.
I can live with
It's
it.
medium-sized, so they're pretty big.
You know, this might be a flavorful kind of like an acquired taste. Maybe we cook it
I
up.
also
the
think we
flavor?
should move because there's blood in the water now.
Oh, I climbed out of it. I'm not dealing with that stuff.
I grabbed the end that I was holding. I was holding it so when it cut in half, I have
Yeah.
the seared like tail of it. I take a
Yeah.
bite out of it because it's already been seared a little bit.
Cool. It tastes kind of like an organ, like organ meat. It could use some salt, but it's not bad.
Can
Can
I grab the
snakes?
snakes and give them to Charr as well?
Yep. You got the snake as well. The snake is quite large, and you can drape it over your neck if you want, and
It's
it
like
kind
a-
of just skirts the ground.
It's like a boa.
It's a boa.
it's
So,
incorrect,
Delightful.
but it get it. All right, we.
Fun fact about these creatures I didn't realize is that some people keep them as like hunting animals.
That's sick.
We should've
Vampires like to
known.
teach them, like to keep them as pets and companions, like dogs.
Wait, what were these
we
things?
should have kept them.
They're giant leeches.
I don't.
Like a
Actually,
vampire keeps one on a leash.
Aww.
what is a sponge?
For those who don't know, me IRL used to have pet leeches as a kid. So for me, I'm
Leeches-
like, aw.
That no, I was gonna say because
Aw.
leeches are pretty sustainable. They're pretty easy to
They're
care
good
for.
buddies.
Yeah, you only have to feed them once a week. Like,
Yeah.
they're like really good child pets. Like, you can just kind of forget about them.
And then you're like, oh, and it's still fine.
Well,
Yeah.
Or you know.
well, we have food, so you should be fine.
All right. Well,
Alright.
you guys successfully got some leech and some snake. And otherwise, like, apart from that kind of very exciting little aside, it goes pretty easily. Lark leads you guys around natural hazards in the area. Who's foraging? Do you want to give me a check to see what kind of goodies you find in the marsh?
Yes, please.
I think at least 2 of you are foraging.
Is it going to be nature or survival?
Dealer's choice.
Thank you.
I said I was like looking for things in the forest.
Mhm.
Can I also?
Yeah.
You want to roll separately or together? Yes, is the question.
I'll roll separately.
Yep. Oh, that is cocked as hell. There we go. Yeah. As usual, Dark Moon dice dices love me.
Proper dice in his turn.
Right?
Just Laura's dice loves me always.
Top Dark Moon dice.
Yep.
Darker dice.
All the Kickstarter dice will be on the website by the end of the week.
Darker
Darkwing
dice,
Duck?
dice.
Darkwing Duck.
Dark Moon Duck dice.
Great show.
Wing.
I love that one.
When there's trouble, you call DW.
Oh my god, I need to
Moon dice.
Yeah, how do you guys do?
I got
I
a
got a
23.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's way better than I got.
I'm
I got
proficient in nature. So.
that makes the sense.
And what did Tamzie get?
A 16.
A 16. That's still pretty good. So you find a few interesting things. So the mushrooms are the fastest to find. You find some really cool looking mushrooms. They're called matchstick fungus. They literally have like a white bottom, and then they have like it looks almost like a glob of yellow on top. They look like a matchstick.
Cute.
They're also called swamp beacons because they are, again, so easy to find. They're about 2 inches tall, and you find quite a lot of them, actually. You can kind of gather enough, like a good haul of them. Yeah, they're definitely, you would not find these in a forest, but they're kind of just like, they pop up through the dead leaves against kind of the ground there. So yeah, you get a good haul of those. Yeah, they're kind of weird and creepy looking. And Moss, you find a few different things. Some of the notable ones is you find some bog rosemary, which is a really good healing item.
Ooh.
You find some wild cranberries.
Great. We'll do a cranberry sauce with the snake.
And then the last thing you find is it's called a swamp rose. And they're just these beautiful pink flowers that you find in there. And they seem to have some kind of, like, you remember vaguely that there's some kind of thing about these that are important, but you can't really remember what it is offhand.
Okay.
So, but you know enough when you see it to be like, I want that one.
Okay, yeah. So I go on a little collection spree.
So you get probably like
But-
one portion of each.
Yeah, I don't like take all of them because
and Tamzie, you get 2 portions of mushrooms, so you could use them for 2 different purposes if you wanted. You don't quite know what they do, but they're mushrooms.
But they're there.
Okay. And anything else from the others before we arrive at
The tower.
yeah.
I'm just living with the consequences.
I'm living with the consequences of my actions.
Yeah, how are you doing, Charr?
Oh, someone could heal Charr, I guess.
No, I got it. I got it. It's fine.
And I hover my hand over the wound, and I use some of my my reservoir of healing on myself really quick. I don't need to be healed up too much, so I'm not going to go wild with it. But
yeah, so you guys make it to the tower after about 4 hours of slow travel. When you arrive, you see something very similar to what you saw underwater. But the coloring is a little different. It looks like maybe it's a different stone material, maybe made from stone from a different area, which would make sense. But otherwise, the general design is the same. It's got that spiral on the outside that you can walk up, and you see similar writing on the outside. It's a lot easier to read this writing because it hasn't been kind of, brushed away by underwater currents. Yeah, it's maybe like the first 2 layers are kind of in the swamp, so it's kind of sunk a little bit. It's a little leaning tower kind of style. Yeah, you found it.
Hey.
All right.
Raise the roof.
So are the inscriptions the same as what the notes I saw of the other one?
They are not identical, but they're very similar. It seems it's sort of like if you had like 3 people, or I guess 2 people, you had 2 people writing down the same history. Like they come from the same place, but the focus of the writing is a little bit different. So I would say it's like having a second perspective on the same story. So it does help to have, because it makes it a little bit.
Moss came prepared, and aka Luna has a good idea, and is going to take some rubbings of sections. So like large parchments, charcoal, rub, stick.
Yeah. So
Save.
you'll you spend some time doing that, and then you can compare those to the notes that Lark made on the other tower.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you guys want to head inside or spend more time reading on the outside?
Do you guys want me to cast Identify on this thing?
If you want to. I mean,
I'm not sure if we already kind of know what it does.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna kind of just. I feel like we can just kind of just head in.
I agree.
Yeah.
As I rub the outside with charcoal.
Okay, so you're gonna cast Identify. Let me see.
Oh, I wasn't
no?
going. No.
Okay. Oh Jesus, those components are expensive.
Yeah.
Some of the spell components are just
absurd.
yeah.
absurd.
I mean,
I would have assumed though,
gold?
since I learned that in Bard class, that like I was given like some to keep. Maybe I don't know.
I don't usually worry too much about reagent components as long as people aren't like abusing it and being like, I have 1,000,000 diamonds.
I'll use chromatic orb 8 times in one day. You don't even have that many spell
like,
slots.
chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do we have our magic today? Is today the same day?
Oh,
Actually, I think you guys decided to wait a day. So
we did.
Up to you. You can either say yes, I still have it because I don't want to deal with not,
No, I'll
or
roll.
I have already used spells,
it's true.
so
So try-
I'll
fine.
roll. What's the
It's a
number for
D6.
today? A D6. What's today's number?
Today's number is
Well, what'd you get?
a 1 on a D6.
I rolled a 1. I don't have magic today.
Womp womp.
Wob wob.
Womp.
Didn't roll last time.
Oh, we would have learned
No, I
that.
got a 6. I'm good.
We would have learned that when I tried to catch Mage Hand.
There you go.
That's
There you go. That's what it is. Yeah, Enris is fine, but we already knew that.
that's unfortunate.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm glad you are
It
good
could
with
be
that.
worse. It could be
it
somebody
could
who
be worse.
doesn't have any stabbing powers, out of
I
the
know.
people who could lose their magic. Me or Enris would be the worst because we don't really do anything other than that. But I mean, the rest
I
of you all are very capable outside of magic.
I can punch things pretty hard,
You
actually.
can't.
I don't know if that's
I-
true.
I don't know. He looks
I
like
mean-
he could do some
Are
good
you-
punching, and I'm like squeezing the muscle underneath. I'm all hands on.
Are you like hanging off his bicep?
Yeah, I'm probably like on my tippy toes, like grabbing, like no boundaries.
Well, he's not especially
Moss
shy
has a
guy.
moment where she's like, "Don't check out Enris. Don't check out Enris. Don't check out Enris."
When Char's like, "Oh, I bet I could take you," basically, Enris just like looks at you like, "Really?
I smirk and I go, uh-huh.
Really? Level 3? You think you can take me?"
I crack my neck a little bit, and I
Later.
I lift my arm up, and the wound that was there is like practically closed up, and I'm just like,
Yeah, maybe I could, but I mean, I don't know. You saw what happened in the war games, so maybe now's not the best time to try that.
Just for funsies, can I maybe not like on purpose? Maybe Lark's not doing it on purpose. I am.
But
Can I
Laura-
cast detect thoughts?
Yeah, of course. Who are you detecting it on?
I'm pretty sure I can do all of you.
For a lark.
It's gonna be an interesting stream of thoughts.
Always.
Love it. Whoever made Detect Thoughts did not do it for our games.
No.
In
ready.
in like the first party, no, it wasn't the first party. One of the parties we had in for the semester, the character I play on the server got a drink, and the drink made everyone be aware of everything she thought
Yeah.
for like an hour.
Oh no.
So she's just like looking at this guy being like, "Oh man," and like looking at another hot girl and being like, "Oh man," and like, what if they were? And everyone around her is just like,
just buy panic. Buy panic. Buy
so
panic.
much by panic.
yeah.
bye.
So it's up to
And then
1
like
minute.
no one
and-
told her to stop drinking it. Continue. Traitors.
It was a very messy parties. Messy parties.
Traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 minute, and then I can read anybody. So I can switch it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
I can do like.
who do you want to listen to first?
I'm gonna look at Moss first.
I know she was. The second I said that,
What's Moss thinking?
I think she picked up on the "Don't check out Enris. Don't check out Enris.
Don't check out Enris. Don't check
Like,
out
oh my
Enris.
god, he's so hot. Don't look at him. Stop looking at him. Stop thinking about it.
Oh.
He's so hot though, kind of.
Look at him power lift that goblin.
Okay, then I'll go to Tamzie.
Probably hanging off the biceps, still like, oh, so strong, so strong. What
Is Enris's actual strength?
Yeah, probably like
Um,
going through, just like thinking about everything else through the day at the same time. Like, I wonder if snakes are good to eat while she's still squeezing the bicep.
I also
Thinking about how
love that
strong
what
he
Tansy
is,
is
but
thinking is
also-
basically what Tansy's saying. It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing
no
in between
filter.
here and here.
No.
It's just
It's all one flow. It's just a stream of consciousness coming out at all times.
yeah.
That's all it is. All it is.
And Enris,
What is Enris thinking? Enris is thinking about how, basically like how he would best like school Charr. Like he's like, how could I smack this kid down? Like, and he's just like imagining different ways he could do it. He's like, what if I used a warhammer? No, that's not very stylish. Great sword would freak him out.
well, he's like,
yeah, he's just
away.
Warhammer, maybe.
I'll have the great sword.
He's like,
And
people
Charr.
usually have a reaction when he wields a great sword.
I think it's like identical. Like,
What's the easiest way to humble this guy?
But it's totally style wise. Like he's not thinking like how do I make
it
sure
the
I
quick-
win? He's like,
Yeah.
how do I make sure that I destroy this man's ego?
If I go for the ankles, that's where his tendons are, and that's hard to heal, so that would not be a good choice. Maybe I bite the no, that's How do I hurt someone who's my friend? This isn't easy.
It's a great question.
then I say,
You know, you saw what happened at war.
and I that's where I say that, and then just
Maybe not
Yeah.
now.
turn my back and like,
But really, what should I do?
Yeah. Anybody else? Or is that your minute of fun?
Unless anyone has any other thoughts that they want
Don't
to
check
pop
out
into
Enris.
my
Don't check out
head. But I'm
Enris.
gonna use up the full minute. Like I'm gonna use up the full
Yeah.
minute, like bouncing back and forth. So unless
Okay,
that's
if there's anything interesting, we will narrate our thoughts.
Yeah, you probably hear Tamzie like spurt out a few like, "Oh my goodness!" She's like that. She's like, "I love Moss's freckles. They're so cute." And then like you probably hear like a few like little things like, "Oh, Lark's hair is just so fiery and red. It's so pretty." And then like you probably hear something about like Charr being like, "He's just so cute and small, but I know he can hold me like a man." You're just hearing this like flow, and it's just like all just like la la la.
I feel like listening to Tanzie's memory, like you eventually you just be like, I'm just gonna listen to this. This is like a show.
Yeah.
I'll give you all the confidence boosts. Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down like and stare at her.
Enris says, "You okay, Lark?
Yes. Yes.
Do you want her?" And he like kind of like brings his bicep over so she can climb over if she wants.
Moss is like, is Lark checking out Tansy?
I'm
Is that
gonna
what
like
I'm
put you
saying?
on my hip like a toddler. Sorry,
Oh,
what did Moss say?
goodness.
Do I need to know that?
Is Lark checking out Tansy because you were just staring?
Stream of thoughts.
I don't
Stream of
think.
thoughts.
I think that you, of all people, would know Lark's checking out face.
True.
And that's not it.
That is
That's
very
not
true.
it.
Everyone who knows that Lark is dating her professor and is in performance class with her knows.
Yeah.
knows
That's
that
not
look.
the face.
True. You
So
are
it's
right.
it's focus, but something else.
Yep. Okay, so it's on the line of Tansy's gonna think like is checking her out.
So who opened the door in the last tower?
Not me because I wasn't there, and not Tansy because
That
Tansy
was
wasn't there.
Was it Lark because she read the wall?
It was either no, it was Celeste. I think it was Celeste being at the front, and with that, I know I was gonna already walk up and towards to open it. So I was gonna try the same way that we saw last.
And
Yes,
You
yes.
said the text is the same, right?
Like
About-
overall
about,
it's the same,
overall.
but
The
the
theme
structure
is.
of it is different.
Yeah.
So you remember that the last tower, Celeste pushed the name of one of the Fae courts.
Mm-hmm.
So you find the same one and you press it and nothing happens.
Got a mystery.
Do I know that there's a fake court that's associated with marsh/swamp?
You don't know which one it is, but you know it's probably one of them.
Can I attempt to roll it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Attempt?
History?
That good, huh?
History? Okay, so that's only a +1, but I did roll a 17, so it's an 18.
An 18. So you managed to identify
Hey.
which ones, like basically all the ones that are listed here. And you end up selecting the one that is connected to the the summer court is the one you press. And indeed, the door opens.
The courts kind of suck. But you know,
Can I give Moss my ooh. Oh, this has to be okay. Can I give Moss the information about the courts and the gods that match that I got, and I will tell her that someone from like my mentor, like whatever, and then I'll be like, we can talk about it later. Done.
okay,
But I'll give her the information that he gave me and who he is and how I got it, and then we continue on our way.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Because now is not the time.
Not the time. It's fine though.
Not the time. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you press it and you immediately get the sense like, oh, cool. Summer court. That's not a problem. That's probably fine. There's nobody who stands out in the summer court. I say because it's like one of the well-known ones. Like I think most people have heard of Queen Titania and Oberon.
Yeah.
Queen Titty who?
Who?
Titania.
Who?
Not
As the fake
Titty.
creature who is the least court
Titania.
of.
Titty.
Queen Teddy.
All hail Queen Titty.
All hail Team Kitty.
Team
Kitty.
Team Kitty for Queen
All
Titty.
hail
All right.
I've fallen into bi panic again.
It's got out of hand fast.
Oh.
I mean, if
Let's fun. Let's get in there. And Puck, of course, Puck is there as well. So you guys head inside. It's the same structure as the last tower you went into. So when you walk in, it's a series of kind of like looping corridors. And basically you have to walk through every step of the tower before you get to the center. It takes a while, but it's a straight line. There's no wrong path you can take. It's just kind of like this weird thing. You get a sense that this is probably meant to be some kind of like meditative connection to the gods kind of thing. Like this is a place meant for like prophets and like healers and deities. So you're supposed to be a little bit more introspective, but there's nothing. It's completely dark in here except for I imagine somebody has dancing lights or something up.
Yeah.
So you make your way through the little meditation kind of path, and when you come to the center you see something very familiar, which is a big open center with a whole bunch of balconies kind of surrounding it moving up, and at the very center is a giant quartz crystal. It's about 20 feet across and about 25 feet high, and across the center of the largest kind of outcropping is a slice, and it's fallen off.
God, it looks like my horse's ass.
God, I wish that was the time where we say, and that's today's episode.
So
Today's episode.
that's the episode.
That's it for today.
That looks like my horse's ass.
God, credits roll. Screen goes black.
Oh, that's it. The game's over. We've done it.
That's
Yep.
We've done it.
oh my God.
Yeah, so the only thing that's different about it, basically, you don't hear that, you don't feel that pulsing energy that you felt from the other crystal. And there's this giant, not even crack, it's full on broken.
Is it
On the floor.
is it broken like it like broke off naturally, or is it sliced? Because you said sliced.
It looks sliced, like it almost looks like, I want to say like lightning, you know what I mean? Like very intentional, but also kind of natural, but also like how would it have hit inside here? There's no opening.
Oh.
So it's natural in the way that it looks, but the placement is not natural.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The damage is natural, the placement is not. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
So knowing how these crystals are generally magical, and this one obviously is going through something where it's kind of broken. Kind of going through something. It's having a moment. It's having a
Going
moment.
through something, yeah.
So we shouldn't touch it.
I
No touch it.
I don't want to touch it.
I kind of want to touch it right now.
How big is the chunk that's on the ground?
How big is the chunk that's on the ground? It is
Yeah.
probably, I want to say it's maybe 5 feet across
Okay.
and maybe 7 or 8 feet long. So it's definitely like a little bit longer, but it's
it's the size of a boulder.
big.
Yeah. Does
It's a boulder. Like,
does it
yeah.
look different than the big piece? Like, has it changed any? Like, is it like does it still
Oh,
look
like,
the same?
does it fit like a puzzle piece, or does it look like it would?
Yeah, or does it like give off a different aura or anything? Like, is there anything to like differ?
Yeah. So what we get here: investigation, arcana, probably other things if you can think of one that would make sense. Those are the two that stand out to me.
I want to cast detect magic to see what is feeling overtly magical and what should be that I think I can kind of infer that might be not. So I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
So if I'm casting that and kind of focusing on this crystal, knowing that the other one did have a magical pulse, magical aura, anything like that, is there anything weird when it comes to being able to like see the glow of magic that would be there or that is not there?
Yeah, you see, because you remember the other one being active.
Yeah.
You remember that feeling, so you
Yeah.
don't get that pulsing feeling of like almost like a heartbeat that you got before. But when you pay attention, you do see that there is still like a little bit of magic. You know, like it's almost like if you imagine like a dam blew up and there's like a little trickle through a little break. There's still something coming through, but it's definitely not on a level that could do anything like it could before.
It's lingering.
A faint trickle of
Yeah.
magic. Okay.
So there's
Man.
still a connection in some way, but yeah.
And is there any other magical sense that I can kind of feel? It's within 30 feet, so I mean, I would need to start going around, but this is up to 10 minutes, so as I'm going around, I'll probably be just searching around and feeling out things. I
Yep.
do want to check the top of the tower where those, each of the representations for the towers is.
Yep.
Was that on the outside, or is that something I can access from the inside?
It was on the outside and the inside, so
Okay.
it's kind of like
on
the
the
crystal
top.
went through the walls at the very
Right.
top. It's gonna take you a while to climb this whole tower, though. So like you're gonna have to start walking.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably have just enough time with 10 minutes to see. But like in the last one, it has the crystals all facing a direction, and the directions seem to speak to where the other towers are. So it only has 6 lights because obviously it is one tower. But one of them seems to be pulsing very energetically. That's in the direction of where you know the currently active bubble is
Okay.
expanding. And otherwise they seem inactive.
Okay, so is it pulsating more sporadically, or I mean more frantically than it was before when we first looked at it a day ago, 2 days ago?
No, it seems pretty steady actually.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same pulse as the last time. It like I said, it feels like a heartbeat of something that exists, so it's
Yeah.
just the same thing.
Cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish I could just
But you
dive
got
down.
double clarification that like yeah, there's one tower that's kind of broken now, and there's one that's active, and the other ones seem to be just hanging out for the time being.
Okay.
Just the these are
sure, go ahead.
these are the towers that the principal headmaster is using to siphon energy from the students and other people.
We don't know if she's siphoning it.
Could
She's
be.
definitely using them as anchors to move land around. But It's-
Biotomes, the rediversifying. Gotcha.
yeah. And then it's something else that's causing the magic to go weird. Is it? I guess I kind of want to take a chunk of this crystal.
I mean, you could try to break a
for it.
chunk off it, like this, the
Yeah.
one that kind of fell
Fell
over.
off?
is-
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the rest of you have an opportunity to like take a look and like see if there's anything else down
Because
there.
I don't
So, like,
necessarily-
Charr did
like, we
his check, but you all can look for other things as well.
We could technically try to quote unquote fix it, but I'm not sure if that would be a good thing for us to do or a bad thing for us to do.
And I don't know if we could lift that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. But
Can I yell down really quick from the top of the tower? I'm sure that given it's a big tube, its sound will carry pretty easily.
Oh.
I was gonna ask Mel that, so I can wait off. I was gonna just remind y'all about
What were you
good
gonna
now?
ask?
Oh, I was gonna say,
tell us.
I'm gonna yell down to everybody. Don't forget about the lady that I'm guessing we shared information. The lady that Melker told me has been going in and out of the barrier. She might have left some sort of clues here. Just so you know. Echo,
Yes.
echo, echo, echo. Okay, do what you gotta do.
Okay then.
Well.
So Moss is gonna start getting that chunk out. Breaking off a chunk
Very
of crystal.
How do you want? Can I take over really quick DM duty for you breaking it off, just so we can have some flavor going around?
Yeah.
Cool. How do you want to do it?
I'm looking for, since it was broken unnaturally, there's some other fractures, of course, that are weaker. So I guess I am trying to kind of do it like they do napping. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I do.
And then get a chunk off, like give it a nice hit.
It almost comes. I'm not sure if this is the case, but I would say that it probably would almost come off like breaking obsidian to sharpen it, like just by shattering.
Yeah, that's what I'm
exactly. So, as like any kid, no matter, I think this is pretty universal. If you have a chunk of rock and you have another chunk of rock, you want to try to break one of those chunks of rock. So you kind of, everyone knows what the rocks will end up doing. So I'm guessing this is gonna be a situation where you'll break off a corner, be able to take a chunk, however big.
I might end up asking Tamzie for some help with. Is it a warhammer that you use?
Yeah, sure.
A great club.
Warhammer, my hands, whatever you need, honey. I got you.
Warhammer, please, because I have like rapiers and like normal pointy things.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll probably put it between my legs and like I'll try to like keep it as controlled as possible, and I'll just like until like break
break off a chunk of crystal. The goal.
Break off a few little pieces for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. What else did you guys want to do or investigate?
I think.
Is there anything else that looks out of the ordinary here?
I'd love for you to do an investigation check.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Please do.
I'll take a bardic inspiration. Add a d6.
Check it out.
Really?
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you kindly.
Bards are so sweet.
That's good.
Oh wait, does bardic
Rylan
inspiration
do?
work if I don't have magic?
I don't think it's a magical inspiration.
Yeah. No, it's like a.
It's an emotional thing.
I'm gonna say it's fine. We'll think
Okay.
about it, but I'll say it's fine for the moment.
I just thought of that.
My
I was like,
immediate
wait.
thought is that that's not a magical thing. That's like a. But
Okay, it works. That's fine.
yep.
So should I be using this or not?
You can use
Yeah,
it now
you
or
can.
you can use it later. It's up to you.
I use it now, so that's 27.
Jesus.
What did you roll on that d6?
I rolled a 5 on the d6 and I rolled an 18 on my d20.
Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Yeah, this is not hard for you to find. You find this really easily. You basically circle the crystal and towards one side, just like a little bit away, kind of out of sight, but not hidden exactly. You find a small box. It's probably about 1 foot by half a foot. It's made
I
of
found a box.
it's made of hewn wood. I'm gonna say you know this because you did the investigation so well. It's 100% trapped.
Oh,
Like if you open it, like
something's gonna happen.
something would happen.
Okay.
Disable
so
trap?
somebody
Disable chat?
might need to disable this
Yeah.
trap.
Is
I'll
there a rogue here?
I'll turn around and I'll go to Moss and I'll be like, I found a box and it looks incredibly trapped and it probably will explode on me. Would you mind taking care of it?
Wonderful.
Can I say, I
I-
love the idea that Tamzie just recognizes
Yes.
traps because like it's just like I've been in a trap before.
I was gonna say she's probably set off so many of them. She probably has like this weird recognition that's like,
Like-
oh, that's the one that threw me down the flight of stairs that time. That's the one that put me in that week-long coma.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moss produces thieves' tool, like sleight of hand trick, like from like you would have no idea where she produced thieves' tools from.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to disable this with a thieves' tool check.
All right, do it up.
Mhm. Which I have double proficiency in for reasons.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm broken. Because I am broken.
You are not broken.
That will be a 21.
Ooh.
A 21. That's going to be enough. Yeah, so you basically managed to break not only the connection that this thing had to the crystal, but also disarm the thing that allows you to open it and see what's inside. Congratulations. Now that you guys have disarmed the crystal, the magic roll is now a d8.
Ooh.
Well done.
Yeah.
You did it.
I did it.
So yeah, this you guys managed to open it up, and you can see very clearly that somebody made this. It looks like it's made of oh, I guess I should have somebody do something to see if they can find out what's going on with this thing, I guess.
Sure.
Probably
Arcana?
again. Or Arcana, depending on what part you want to know about.
I don't do Arcana. Does anyone else
don't
do
either.
Arcana? Magic? Help?
No, anybody?
None of us are wizards.
No.
Enris,
Enris is like, sure, yeah, I'll take a look.
you're not a wizard,
So,
but you know.
yeah. So he takes it and takes a look at it. Yeah, he rolled it right. So he points out that it looks like the wood used to make this is wood that you walked by, like it's the same kind of trees that were in the swamp. So it seems like somebody made this for this purpose from here.
Yeah.
And he says that his theory is it seems like this doesn't seem like something the headmistress would do. She wouldn't make something out of the materials nearby. She would make something glass and fancy or whatever. So somebody must be making these and maybe taking advantage of the power that's being coursed through them for their own purpose.
With Tamzie's investigation, could we figure out like how long that box has been there for? Like how's the dust accumulation looking? Like how it's...
Or are there any make marks?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean by make marks?
Like any distinct
Artisans will do like
features, yeah, of like whoever made it.
Who
like
made it when?
Yeah, or like a style or something.
No, there's nothing that you can see kind of that shows who made it. It definitely has a more natural feel to it. Like if you had to guess, this is more like a druid or a ranger kind of creation, you know, like it speaks more to the world than it does to like an actually really well-made box. And the dust accumulation. So your best guess is that this probably was added maybe a week or two after this activated.
Okay. So we have a timeline starting.
Yeah. So
how
power is
big was this
activated.
box
A
again?
couple weeks later, this box is added. Some point in there, you're not sure quite when.
Yeah.
You guys have your magic being affected. The swamp, obviously, you know, is connected to that very first event. And then I think it took 2 or 3 months to expand.
Yeah.
So it's been here for quite a while.
Okay. How big was this box again?
It's pretty small. It's like handheld. You could take
Can we
home.
take the box? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, you can take it, do some more investigation on it. See
Yeah.
if you
Once I have magic, I will sat and ritual cast identify on it.
yeah, like you can take some time to understand like how does this work, what does this component, so it'll take you some time to do that research, but you can easily pop it in a bag and leave. It's like 2 pounds. It's not even heavy.
Yay, great.
I was just saying it was big because I'm small.
Oh
Yeah.
Like holding it up and someone else takes it.
Like
It's
a
this
foot
big.
is like nothing for me size, but like for her size, that's like half the size of her.
Yeah. That's like a lot. Okay, good. And then Mel, how big would you say if I successfully took off chunk of crystals with Tamzie's help? How big do you think? Like, how many chunks, or how big are those chunks? And or
Also, am I gonna die if I touch this rock?
I mean, do you want to touch it?
we were trying to break a
Crack
chunk
it.
off.
Yeah, I was gonna try to use my great club to try to like put it between my
Help me.
legs and like kind of like gently chisel off a piece or two.
Yeah.
It seems like because this part is completely detached from the main body of it, it doesn't seem like anything happens if you touch it. So
Okay.
you guys are good to break it. It breaks into, you managed to break into about 5 pieces. And let's see how big is it. What piece? Are you looking for a bigger piece or a smaller piece?
I'm looking for one piece that is palm of hand, and then one is like a larger chunk.
Okay. There's one that's about 20 centimeters long, so
Okay. Yeah.
similar to the box.
Ooh, yes.
And another one's about half that size. Otherwise, they're
Okay.
all kind of like small little.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
And I'll take a small one too.
Yeah, can I grab one of the small ones too?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
a little one. You could sew it in.
Me as a player is gonna try something, Mel. You know you're allowed to say no as always.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to take one of these big ones, and I know that I don't have magic right now, so we're just gonna try this. You know that you said that there's a trickle of magic coming out. I would like to tether that to this chunk that I will be carrying away with me.
Ooh, can you? Okay, that will take you a little bit of time. You'll probably have to use the box to do that.
Okay.
So if you guys want to stay the night here,
I don't want to reactivate the box. I just want to tether a small chunk of this to this magic source.
yeah, you
with a
need something. You need
portable.
something to do that, basically.
Portable. Yeah.
So you'd have to reactivate the box and then recode it, basically.
Recode it. Okay. I'm down with that. I
So
propose
it
this
depends if your
plan for
friends are willing
everyone.
to wait. I'm gonna say it'll probably take like 4 to 8 hours, depending on how well you roll. Depends
Are
if you
you
guys
guys-
want to hang out here.
Do you guys want to
Oh.
do this?
For 2 days? Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't want to sit in the swamp for 2 days. Moss, you.
We
I
have-
don't even have enough food for 2 days.
We
No.
have
Yeah, we
horses.
do.
We have horses that are waiting for us tied up.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Like we have horses waiting for us.
I mean, I can go back, but I don't want us to go. I don't want
No,
to
that's
split up alone.
fine. It's fine.
You
I'm
can always
sad.
come back too. It's not,
Back.
necessarily too far away, and
Yeah.
you know the way now.
Moss is gonna sneak out in the middle of the night and just skip 2 days of classes and just be
At
in this
least
tower.
You've got the crystal now, so we can always figure out
Yes.
the rest of the in-betweens, like the link in
Mhm.
between the box. Like we
I'm
can-
gonna say this now. Between next game and this game, Moss is sneaking out and skipping 2 days of classes to do this.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
He'll come back here all alone. She doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I also grab like a little piece for like the other party members too, to like give them and
Yeah,
be like,
you guys can bring all 5 of those little chunks you got off.
yeah, and I'll give like a little piece to Lark and a little piece to Charr as well. And I'll be like, it's a memento from our first big adventure together, where we almost all perished from the evil swamp monsters.
From
You
all
know,
the
life and
leeches.
death stuff here, building memories, best friends forever now. Mm-hmm.
hmm
You know,
We did it.
That does mean a lot.
Yep.
It really does. Thank you.
Well done, guys. All right.
Yay.
So, do we want to end it with you guys in the swamp, or do we want to say you guys head back and you guys arrive back on campus?
Ooh.
Like-
We can kind of do either. I mean, we're going back to the
Let's
campus
go
after.
home.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
Let-
we're going
let's-
back anyway, unless we're stopping for anything else.
Yeah, let's
All right.
go.
Well, ooh,
You know, I did see an
Moss
inn at
will
the city.
pick up a piece of wood from the trees around here for more materials to potentially mimic the technology from this.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why Moss is suddenly taking an artificer like thing. Oh no. But
Like, I need to find an artificer friend because I don't. I imagine it's like somebody who buys like an old radio and they're like, I'm gonna take this apart and rebuild it. And then they're like, I have no idea how to do this.
you know what? You know what? If Moss was in the server, I'd say she was learning Tinker's tools right now.
There you
Next
go.
semester, we start a new semester after this. Tinker's
Sure.
tools class.
It's true. Okay, well done, guys. You made it to the tower. You found the box. You got some crystal
Hey.
chunks, and you got some more information about the courts. I need to remember to write down which court was underwater because you guys were already there.
Yep.
Yeah, well done. You're heroes. You did
We
it.
did it. Everyone enjoy the D8 from our victory. And so-
Everyone enjoy.
Wonderful.
everyone enjoy. Look
Bon
at that.
All right. Any other thoughts before we wrap up for today?
Not really.
If
Can I like? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, no, you go for it. No worries. Go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, before it doesn't have to be like on this stream or anything, but can I get like a gist of what that letter says?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this is probably a conversation that's being had in the middle of getting back.
If there's
This is not actually going to be in conversation because I'm going to reference dice.
if there's 7 towers and there's only 6 different dice, maybe there's one of these boxes at every one of the towers.
Looks at the camera,
Dun, dun, dun.
and that's what Charr definitely
Wouldn't
says.
that be shocking?
And the last one makes it so no dice are needed.
Well done. You made the tower. All right.
We did it.
Party.
Yeah, let's wrap up for the night. So thanks everybody again for joining us. If you want to check out and play with us on our server and explore all these fun mysteries, you can join there if somebody wants to pop in the bot for that. Otherwise, you can check out the episodes on YouTube or podcast, wherever you get them. And we hope to see you guys next week. We're here on Twitch on Wednesdays at 6:30 EST. That's it from us. So have a great night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.